So here we have it, the man of the hour. He's an actor, but also he helps actors book roles on film and television. Please welcome Jonathan, the Detroit kid, Stanley in the house. How are you? From Hot Shot Self Taping Studio in Los Angeles. Tell me about that.
What's up, Eddie?
What's going on, big guy?
Enjoying this cold out here in Detroit. It's a nice break from the monotony of the sunshine every day, believe it or not, in LA.
Well, let me tell you
And
something.
some normalcy
What's the temperature in Detroit right now?
in the 30s, probably. I haven't been out yet today, but it's cold, probably in the 30s.
As long as there's no wind.
Yeah, like Chicago, that gets
Yeah,
rough.
exactly. So, Jonathan, I saw you on Instagram, and I said to myself, I'm really impressed with this guy. And when it comes to on-camera auditioning technique, you're really different than others. And I studied with a lot of auditioning technique classes in LA. I used to live in LA, and I said to myself, I like this guy. I got to get him on my show.
Thank you.
And here
I
you are,
appreciate that. Yeah, hey, thanks for reaching out. Happy to be here.
of course. Jonathan, let me ask you this. You being an actor, now give me your background. You moved to LA in 2014?
Yeah, 2014. I
Mm-hmm.
started acting when I was 23, and that was, geez, 20 years ago. Did some stuff in Michigan. My first feature film, I'm thinking back, I don't talk about this much. Did a student film in Florida. That was the first thing. Did some background work and shit like that. Then landed the lead in an indie film called This Narrow Place. I was 25 or 26, and that went to festivals. And that was the lead role playing a meth addict. And it went to festivals, did really good, won awards. Then they had the film incentive in Michigan. I stuck around for that. Did some other movies here, and they yanked that in 2013 or 14. And I said, you know what? I'm going to LA for LA, as every actor does, for pilot season, right? Me and this other guy,
Right,
he's like, I'm going for pilot season.
right,
I said, yeah, let's go. I bet you they need some white boys with brown hair in their 30s.
right.
Bet you they don't have enough of those. So I thought I was kind of gonna give it a go, but in my heart, I thought, I don't think I'm coming back if I go there. And we went there, struggled, of course, right off the rip. I started personal training, and me and him had the same agent. We were getting self tapes. 2014, they were doing self tapes, and we're in his apartment shooting them on an iPad. That went on for a few months. I said, hey, man, I think there will be a need for a self tape studio that does this. Let's set up in your apartment. He's like, no, 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 no. Okay. Me, when I get an idea, I act on it. I don't waste any time. I don't think, oh, what can go wrong? I don't have the means and the funds. I've never been like that as a kid because I grew up poor. So I'm very resourceful. I use whatever I can. And I was meditating. Back then, I would meditate every morning. I wouldn't do anything, but I'd meditate right away. And something told me I had this idea, open a self-tape studio. So I got on Craigslist. I found this place in Van Nuys, basically a shitty broom closet for $400 a month. Every morning I'd go in, there was a dead cockroach on the floor. That's not a lie. And Master P, the rapper, had the whole upstairs.
Oh, wow.
You know, Master P,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
he had the whole upstairs. And I was downstairs, and I just had this shitty little broom closet that I couldn't even afford. I was teaching Zumba classes and dance classes and driving Uber. And so I had a camera from my filmmaking journey, and I bought some lights off Amazon and a shitty blue backdrop. And I'll send you the picture. You can post it. And I set up this self tape studio. And I was dumb enough to stick it out for 3 years and not make any money. And my wife was very encouraging. That's why she's my wife. She said, "No, stay in it." Because at one point I was like, "Man, fuck, I'm gonna bail. This ain't working. I'm driving Uber. I'm teaching dance classes. I don't have any money." She's like, "You can't give up." And then it slowly started to take off, and then I got a better location. Then I got some celebrity clients, and it that started to snowball. Then I would book acting gigs myself, and I'm coaching actors, and then they're having success, and they say, "Well, you're better than my acting coach." And all these things come together to now 12 years later, we're the top self-tape studio.
I love stories like grew up, without money, and you had the audacity to move to LA, and I'm sure everybody in Detroit were like, "What are you crazy? Get a real job. What are you nuts? You ain't gonna make it." What
Yeah.
right? You get that, and you probably get five
Uh,
percent encouragement, like
my
your
parents
wife.
were very supportive.
Oh, your wife. I mean, your parents were supportive. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I had the best parents anyone could ask for. I I had amazing parents, supportive. They weren't delusional. They would never tell me I'd go on American Idol. They knew my strengths and what I couldn't do. They would never tell me like, "Oh yeah, you could be a singer or fucking baseball player." They'd be like, "No." They were encouraging on things I was good at, and they were very supportive. And they missed me, of course, but they didn't want me to miss the boat on my dream and my passion. But there were plenty of others that, and it's been like that since I was a kid. I always went against the grain.
Mhm.
I dropped out of school at 15 with an 8th grade education and was doing concrete and drywall with my dad and my family. And everyone's like, "This kid's a fucking loser." But in my heart, and I've always been a man of faith, I always feel like, "No, it's gonna be okay. And I have nothing to lose. I came from nothing, literally. I have nothing to lose." And that's looking back in hindsight, coming from poverty, real poverty, was a blessing because I've been without many of the, definitely the niceties, but the necessities of life. And I'm at the bottom. I don't care. I've been at the bottom and I'm alive. So to go for something, I'm like, the worst that can happen is I end up dead. That's my
That's not
mind
gonna
frame.
happen, brother. We need you.
Well, thanks. But the standpoint of like money,
Mhm.
of like, oh, what if I didn't have credit? My parents didn't have credit. I didn't have credit. I didn't have any money. My parents didn't have any money. There was never a thing of like, oh, what the heat or hot water gets shut off? I grew up without fucking heat, hot water, and food. And like I came from that level to where everything is just a bonus.
So
If
you
there's
so you're happy of what you have. That's the bottom line. You're healthy, got healthy kids,
Yeah,
right? Got a
yeah,
good wife.
yeah.
So and a lot of people don't take that in perspectively because I always tell people if you're healthy, then you're spoiled. You could always figure out how to make money.
Yeah, but
But
when you're poor,
mhm,
right? And I'm a ghetto kid.
right.
When you're growing up in the ghetto and you watch your parents struggle and there's no money and food is lean and you think, yeah, whatever, you're just saying that. Health is, you know, bullshit. Yeah, as you get older, yeah, health is everything.
Well, here's the thing. You had each other, and that's the most important
Yeah,
thing. You had your
yeah.
family, right? And I grew up in the ghetto
Yep.
too, Brooklyn, Canarsie, in the project. So I know where you're coming from, brother. I know where you're coming from. I've been there.
Yeah, and it's too late to realize that,
Yeah,
right? A lot of
exactly.
times.
Yeah,
My parents are gone and shit. Damn. Now I realize it.
right. Yeah. So, Jonathan, ever since you were a kid, did you always wanted to be an actor? I mean, like, I know you dropped out of high school in eighth grade, right? I mean, middle school, I guess, right?
Yeah, I went to ninth grade, never showed up.
Hmm.
I was really into fitness and working out. So I would skip school and literally just watch those fitness videos that came on in the morning. And I was obsessed with working out. And I finished eighth grade. Ninth grade, I would just go in late. I didn't, I was going into my second year maybe of ninth grade, and I didn't have any credits, and I was getting in fights, and I wasn't showing up, and I'm like, just fuck this. It ain't. It's pointless. But I would go to the library and read books. But it was what I wanted. I loved magic as a kid. I loved dancing and magic. Acting, my dad was an actor and he did some plays and he studied acting. And my thing was magic. And I would be in my room for hours, obsessed with magic and dancing, believe it or not. And then when I hit like 16, 17, I remember thinking, man, I want to be an actor. That's an outlet. That's but I got sidetracked. I got sidetracked. And magic to me, there's a lot of parallels between magic and acting.
Well,
And I,
you got to convince them that you're truthful. That's the
sure,
bottom line.
right? Yeah. And there's a pattern, right? Magicians call it pattern. And it's a form of entertainment. And it's yeah, a lot of times I teach actors you have to hide exposition because everything nowadays is exposition. And you have to hide that like a magic act. And yeah, just, at 18 to come back round robin, I signed up. I was 2 hours outside of Detroit at this point, and I signed up for this conservatory repertory, Detroit Rep, and I'd get these things in the mail, and I'm like, "Oh, man, I don't know how to make this happen." And I got sidetracked, and I became a stripper,
A male stripper.
a male stripper. How's that?
Wow. All right. So tell me those stories. All right. What's the biggest tip you had in one night?
Oh my god. I had some decent ones. I was getting kicked out of my apartment. I actually made a movie about this. I was getting kicked out of my apartment. I moved out at 16, 17, and got my own apartment and was working in a factory, lied my age to get a job at a factory. And then at 18, I was getting kicked out of my apartment. I think I was working at Lowe's at the time, and I'm way behind on my rent. And long story short, these girls, they went to the strip club and they said, "Hey, you should go there. It looks like they're making money." So that week I went to an amateur night. It was in Windsor, Ontario, across from Detroit. And I went alone to amateur night, one amateur night, got 150 bucks. I cashed in. This sounds like bullshit, but it's not. I could prove it.
Hey, listen, I
I
believe
cashed
you,
in.
Jonathan. Don't be talking shit, all right? I believe you. Go ahead.
It's well because it sounds like something out of a movie. If I seen it in a movie, I'd say they embellished it.
Right.
My landlord owned a liquor store 3 doors down. So I go in the liquor store and I write a bad check because I know I need, yeah, yeah, I'm like, back then, this is 2002. It's like
Right.
I got 4 days, 3 to 4 days to come up with the money. I didn't have the gas money for amateur night. So I write a bad check and I cash in pop bottles. That got me to amateur night. My car didn't have insurance on it. I go to amateur night. I win 150 bucks Canadian. Then I go into a store and change it. And then I ended up with maybe 90 bucks. And that got me home. And I won amateur night. And they told me, oh, come back. At this point, I'm 19, right? And this is a full nude strip club,
Oh, shit.
full nude. Because in Canada, you can drink and get fully naked. That was the draw. In America, it's one or the other. The bottoms stay on if the alcohol comes out. But
Oh.
in Canada, it's like you can have your cake and eat it too. And I'm the youngest one there. And I'm skinny. I'm 150 something
And you're
pounds.
ripped, right? You got the six pack and everything going.
Yeah. 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 But I'm super skinny and really naive. But the guy that runs it gives me a job. He's like, all right. And I could dance. You know, I had that going for me, and I was one of the better dancers there. So I think that's why they hired me. And that was the draw that I was the youngest guy and I could dance. And it was a club called Danny's of Windsor, right on the river. And it would hold 400, 500 girls. And there was 10 to 15 guys.
Shit.
Yeah.
So
And that's how I got detailed. I thought, well, it's a stage. I still wanted to be an actor, but I didn't have the means. And I was like, well, this is a port in a storm, right? It's just a means to an end. I can segue somehow into acting from this.
yeah, yeah. So let's talk about this stripping thing. All right. Any of these older ladies in like their 40s and 50s says, "Oh, baby, you could be my boy toy. I'll pay you more." Did you ever have that offer?
Well, I made a movie about it, and this is now I have uh, a daughter, so it's one of those things. It's like, oh, I've talked about this before. Maybe in hindsight, I shouldn't have, but she's. I made a movie about it. I started prostituting myself.
Wow. No
Yeah, because
way.
women would come in the club and say, "Well, how much to take you home?" It's like, "Oh man, I can use some money." So I did that. Got stuck in that for a while. It wasn't a thing of like constantly like,
Right.
"Oh man, look, I'm a gigolo," but it segued into that from the club, or girls would say, "Oh, come to my hotel after," because they all had to get hotels, right? Because they're not driving back over the border drunk. And then it turned into, that's the underbelly of that world. And I'm 19, and now I'm making money, and I got at first I wasn't, but a bunch of cash and every night, and some girl says, "Hey, I'll give you this much. Come to our hotel," or "How much to have you for the night?"
All right. So
And
what
I
was
did
what
that.
was your menu back then? I mean, was it like, okay, for this it'll be 500. For
You know
this,
what? It was very like a lot of times it would depend on like, oh man, okay, well, she's cute, $100,
that's it?
right? Well, they're talking, hey, 2002, $100 is like $500 now.
I think you should charge more than that back then, but all right, go
Well,
ahead.
there's times I well, there was times I charged way more, and but yeah, yeah, I got lost in that for a little bit,
How many
and
years did you prostitute yourself for?
I don't want to. You know what? It was more of a happenstance issue. It
All
wasn't
right,
like, hey,
so it's
look, I'm
spontaneous, right? If it happened, it
It
happened.
was like, yeah,
So you weren't like a full time prostitute. It's more like if they offered,
no,
then you would do it.
yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah, yeah. I didn't. And men aren't in demand like that. I wouldn't have gone any. I wouldn't have went up on a website or something like that. But it would be a thing of, hey, come to my room. How much? "Oh, hey, okay, cool. And then there was, but it's all dark.
But
It's
did
dark.
you
No matter
feel a
what.
little guilty, Jonathan? Did you feel like, oh, what am I doing, man?
Well, it's I'm at 19, 20, 21. No, your brain's not fully developed, and I needed money so bad. And you think, okay, cool. It's if women see me as a commodity, that's okay, right? Now looking back on it, but I don't regret anything. I don't regret anything. Truth be told, I tell actors that was my acting school, right? So at 19, I do that. Then a couple years later, I stayed in that for a couple years. Then I went to Vegas and danced in Vegas for a little bit, and that was a whole thing because Vegas was different. And then I started doing house parties, and then I would go. It, you'd go to a house party in some of these areas in Michigan. They're like Beverly Hills,
Like
and you
Bloomfield
walk
or
in.
something like that?
Exactly, yeah, like Bloomfield or West Birmingham, and or Birmingham or West Bloomfield. And you go in, it's 50 women, it's just me in a cop outfit with a boom box, and it's like, all right, well, entertain us. And I wouldn't suggest this for anyone by any means, but that was my school, that was my lot in life of making money, and it helped me as an actor. I like for me, again, I wouldn't suggest this. I feel, having been around enough, growing up in the ghetto and a strip club, and the way I grew up, that was probably the best thing that could happen for me as an actor. It would be better than Juilliard or NYU, Tisch, any of that stuff. That stuff doesn't give you a soul at all. And acting is soul and life experience. Now, I came away unscathed. I never touched a drug in my life. I don't get high. I never smoked. I never got high in my life. I wasn't doing drugs. So
But it
I'm an
was
outlier.
offered, right? It was offered a lot, probably, right? You just declined it.
Oh my God. Well, yeah. Everyone there was, well, there's an apartment upstairs, and we all had our own rooms. Basically, this place was huge. You can look
Mhm.
up pictures. It was ridiculous. And the whole upstairs was almost like an apartment complex. And everyone's doing drugs. Everyone's doing drugs.
Shit.
But that wasn't my thing.
I hear you,
And
man.
my parents knew I was doing it, and my parents were very, 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 very street smart, and they said, "Cool, just don't touch any drugs."
You
And
know,
they knew. My parents grew up and,
Jonathan, after you told me your story, I was about to ask you about any drugs involved, and I'm glad that you told me that you didn't. I mean, that was my next
I
question.
didn't even I probably didn't even drink for the first year I was there, and 19's the drinking age in Canada, and I did everything sober. There's periods I'd drink at work, it made things a little bit easier, but nah, drugs were never my thing. You know, I've seen what they do to people, and I come from a family of drinkers,
Right.
and but that was to tie that into acting, it is acting. There was a stage, there was 400 women, we're selling something, I'm selling myself. There's 14 other guys. How do I beat them out? And you have to have the gift to gab. And then you have to come up with a persona, if you will. Carl Jung says the persona is Latin for mask, right? So what's that persona that you're putting on stage? And mine was the young, white, hip, swag, white boy that could dance.
So that was your signature.
Yeah, that was my signature. And I danced on TV shows and Detroit and stuff like that.
Jonathan, did you catch any feelings for any of these girls? Like you were like, ooh, I really like this girl. I mean,
No, they
you're
were in and
young.
out.
Hmm?
They were in and out.
Okay. But did any of them really captured you? You're like, ooh, I really like this girl, even though she's not from here. Like, did that ever happen?
Maybe no more than just a look or a lot of them were
I mean,
our
these are
age.
beautiful women, right? And you're
Oh,
19,
yeah, it
20, and
wasn't
it's
like
like,
but a lot of people picture, "Oh, it's all older, lonely women." No, it was a lot of young women coming there for birthdays and bachelorette parties, and a lot of them were pretty.
Jonathan, did it ever happen that a woman would say, I will leave my husband for you right now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This conversation would have been way more interesting 15, 20 years ago, and I would have regretted it, so I'm doing good monitoring myself. I remember there was a lady that w had a newborn. She was young. I say lady, I don't know, she was 23 or 4. I might have been 21 or 22, and she had a newborn and a husband, and she's like, "I'll leave my husband for you." I said, "I don't no, 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 no.
Holy shit.
Nah, we're dipping into something I don't wanna dip into."
What about
Um,
any rich ones that were like, you'll be my boy toy?
yeah, yeah, I had some of those. There's a ton of stories I have on I had friends that even had crazier stories, and yeah, there was some of that. They'd take us shopping, they'd take us out to eat, they'd buy us cars.
What? They bought you cars
Yeah,
too?
yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah, yeah.
Wow. John, you lived a lifestyle that, well, I could see 19, 20-year olds be like, oh, I love to be in his shoes. But in reality, when you get older, you're like, fuck it.
Yeah, that's the thing, when you get older and your brain gets fully developed, I don't even know if mine is fully developed, you you look back on things and wonder, "Well, where did that maybe go wrong?" Again, I don't have any regrets. I didn't
Mhm.
I didn't do anything that was immoral, sure, yeah, that's life, and I wouldn't want that for my kids by any means, but you know, I was hustling. Like, I had no
But I think that's where
n
the acting comes from because
yeah.
it's like you said in your mind, like, you know what? It's strictly business. I'm just here for the money and I got to be creative. And that's what you did.
Yeah, and it was a barter. I'm entertaining. That's it. I'm here for your entertainment. You pay,
Right.
tip, whatever, and that was that. But I don't wanna say I didn't have a choice because in life you always have a choice. I chose that, and I was the youngest of 3 brothers, and I felt it was all on me, and I was looking out excuse me, I was looking out for my parents. I was giving my parents money. I was buying my parents cars and paying their heat bill and doing whatever. And I took it upon myself to be maybe, the rescuer, if you will, of the family. Like I got this, and it was nice. It was nice to give my parents money at Christmas time, and if their car broke down, to buy them a car. And they didn't ask that. That was me going, no, I got this, man. I got this. I'm going to use what I got to benefit.
How many years were you doing that for? From
You
19
know
till
what?
when?
Yeah, from 19 to 23-ish, because I started pursuing acting hard at 23, 24. Then got out of it and was doing bullshit odd jobs and then landed a movie, right? And then I went to college and studied community college and did some theater there, and then was broke again, and I went back into it. And this is crazy. I don't probably never even told this story, but whatever. So I'm doing theater. I'm 27, 28, going to college, studying theater. I'm the oldest one there. I'm doing a play, but then I'm stripping on the weekends and I start writing my movie. I wrote a feature film about my life as a dancer because I was always kind of ashamed of it as I got into acting. I thought, I don't want to be seen as that. I want to be seen as an actor. And now that I'm more established and that's not a thing anymore, and no one sees me as an exotic dancer, I'm more comfortable to talk about it and go, okay, well, I've proven my point. But when I was 27, 28, I started writing a feature film about my life as a dancer. And then I'm dancing. Now I'm doing the club was closed. I'm doing house parties. I'm going into the house parties doing it. But at this point I already did a movie and I've done a couple things and I was like, oh man, this sucks. I want to just be an actor. So now I'm doing what am I doing? I'm back at square one stripping, but I'm an actor. So I would walk in these places and tell the ladies, like, look, ladies, everything's cool, anything goes, just don't pull out any cameras. And as a rule, they didn't, because I was then the only dude that would get naked at the house parties. This guy hired me and he's like, I ain't got anyone that'll get naked. I'll give you extra money if you get naked.
Tell me, how much was it? How much did you charge fully naked at a house party? What was your price back then?
It was his price. That was the thing. I was working for a company. And I forget what year this was, but I think he charged 75 to $100 for me to go there and do one song. Then it was my job to get the money to stay. And then actually I was cleaning house because it was just me and it'd be a bunch of women, so there's no competition. And it was my job then. Hey ladies, if you want to keep the party going, I'm down to stay. And that's just when Square credit card
Mhm.
came out.
Okay.
And I had one of those things hooked up to my phone. Boom, boom, boom. So I'm swiping cards and I cleaned house, man.
So
I cleaned
would it be
house.
$1,000 a night?
Yeah, I would work Friday and Saturday and could easily it got to the point to where I would make even in the early 2000s, I could knock down a grand at a good club. Like in Vegas, you can knock down 1,200 bucks in a night, and that was 2003 or 4. And
Holy shit.
they were saying that was bad money. The guys there were like, "Yeah, that ain't bad, like 1,200 bucks." And then, yeah, 2000, when I started doing the house parties, on a weekend, Friday, Saturday, I could knock down close to 1,000 bucks for a couple nights work.
In today's world, in a house party, how much you think a fellow would make?
You know what it is? It is all, and that's the acting thing. It is all sales. And I've seen so many dudes that they were, shredded or good looking, but they couldn't dance. They didn't know how to bring a room to life. And you bring up a good point. It's leading me to something. It's like a casting room, like 5 seconds. No matter what's going on in your life, the minute you hit that door and you walk in, you got it or you don't.
You know,
And
you
you
make a good
you
point. It's that it factor, right? Either you have it or you
yeah,
don't, or whatever they're looking for, right? Yeah, they don't. Even if you perform so good, it doesn't
yeah.
matter if you don't have it.
And they don't wanna keep you, even if you're, oh, that was good, that was cool. You have to have that thing to keep the party going. And there's like psychology. A lot of dudes would grab the prettiest girl. It's like, no, 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 dude, you messed up because now you got 30 women that aren't as pretty as her. And now they're jealous and they want you to leave. So you grab the grandma, you grab the mom, you don't grab the prettiest one, you ignore them and you make the grandma feel like a Victoria's Secret model and she's the life of the party. And then people, oh, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. And that's acting. A lot of it is like being able to read body language and sensory acuity and having that like, "Oh, this is it. This is going this way. I need to adjust this way. I need to." It's. I think a lot of the actors that come to me, it's interesting. They're really good. They went through the system. Maybe they went through foster care. They grew up poor. They grew up in a trailer park because they just had to have life. They just been through life and they get it. And me having imposter syndrome when I started off was like, "Oh, man, I wish my family had money and I could go to school and college and I coulda went to this and this." It's not about that. Sure, there's some actors you could point to and they say like Jonathan Majors, "Oh, he came out of Yale." He was good before he went to Yale, I guarantee it. But I get those actors that come in and no judgment against necessarily these schools, and this isn't an indictment, but the best actors that come in didn't go to NYU or Juilliard or Tisch or that something's missing. Something it's like someone that can sing, but they have no soul. Like the singers that come out of Motown, like the Temptations and David Ruffin and Stevie Wonder and Smokey. It's like, well, these guys grew up piss poor and they can Michael Jackson at 11 and 12, you go, what the fuck? What how can this kid sing like this? Well, he's been through the ringer. And that's when you see an actor you look and you can just look at him and go, man, this dude looks like he's been through the fucking shit. And that's what makes, I feel, actors interesting, like a soul. Like, man, they get through it. They've been through it. Now, sure, you have to have technique.
Right.
Sure, there's that technique, but when you get life experience, I would go. I could go to any trailer park or foster care and grab a teenager and turn him into a fucking amazing actor
You know,
with
John,
technique.
speaking of when you said when you see something in that person, and that's what I saw in you when I looked at your pictures before I started the show. Um, I was saying to myself, I feel like this guy went through a lot, and that was my first instinct. Because I have great instincts, and I grew up in the streets too, back in Brooklyn, so I know what's up. I know.
Yeah, New York's rough,
Yeah,
man.
exactly. So it's like when I saw your picture, I was like, something about this guy went through a tough life. That was just my first instinct. I could be wrong, but that's what my gut told me. So I guess I was right.
Yeah, yeah,
And the way you set it
yeah.
up about people, like if you saw a kid at foster home, you could make him a great actor, and you need technique, which I totally agree. So now, Jonathan, here's my question, right? You opened this studio, things are rolling now lately, or within the past years, right? How many years it's been hot?
And it's going on 12 years, and once once I was 2 to 3 years in, it started going pretty good.
Okay,
Not
so
great, but
no,
good.
that's fine. So my question is, you know, when we go to a casting office, right? We audition. You have that one opportunity. They can ask you to make an adjustment or whatever. Um, the disadvantage is you have one opportunity, right? The advantage is that you could connect with the producers or whoever's there, right? Like, oh, I
Yep,
really like this guy. Something about him. Yeah, the audition sucked, but I feel like this guy's good, right? Now, the advantage of self tape, you could do 1,000 takes, you nail it, and you're like, all right, this is gonna work. The disadvantage is there's no connection. You're not like, hey, Carmen Cuba, how are you? Hey, John, what's his name? The one with
Pasadena?
Paspadera is his name?
Pasadena? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, him. There's no connection there, right? So now that's the disadvantage. So now casting offices since COVID, they closed. It's all self tape, right? Do you agree or disagree?
Mhm.
Unless
There's
unless
a
you're a theater actor.
handful. What's that?
Unless you're a theater actor, they want you to come in. like in New York?
Yeah, there's a handful. There's a casting director next door to our studio that's really big,
Hmm.
and she still brings some people in,
Right.
people that are established. But yeah, you're not going in the room. You can
Right.
forget about it.
So, back then, especially for as a series regular, if you're not established actor, you would audition first. Okay, now
Mhm.
they like you. So now you're gonna get a call back. And now you're with the casting director and the producer director. And then after that, they like you more. Now the studio. Now the crazy thing about the studio is, hey Jonathan, you're gonna make 30,000 an episode. This is what's gonna happen. And now you're calculating in your head, holy shit, okay. I'm gonna be making money. Oh my God, oh my God. But guess what? After studio, you still have to do the network testing,
Yep.
right? How does it work now? What do they do if they cast you as a series regular for a TV show?
It varies. Some people go in, but I had a client that booked Fubar playing Arnold Schwarzenegger's wife off one self-tape. She shot the self-tape with us. They gave her the job as a series reg. Now, that's a fluke deal, but you would still go in, I guess, and test Zoom. I had someone do one recently for a new series that's coming out, and they did it Zoom in our studio. We shoot we shoot Zoom callbacks in our studio. So we hook our camera and mic up to the Zoom, and basically they're watching a really, really good self-tape. And producers are on the Zoom call and they say, "Do it again," or something like that, which is, in my opinion, better.
So that was the callback, right? As far as the producers and all of them are in the
Basically, it's pretty much the
right.
callback slash test. He would book off that. He did a tape and then did that.
Okay, so now when you see actors, Jonathan, what's the number one mistake an actor does in a self tape? When you coach them, you're like, in your mind, you're like, okay, I could get him there, but it's what is the number one mistake that, and look, a good actor could adjust. You tell them, hey, I want you to start off this way,
Yeah.
right? What's the number one mistake that actors do in the self tape? In the beginning, I'm talking about right when they see the
Oh
action
my
in the
God.
script, right? Let's say a guy comes in. Yeah, I'll give you an example, Jonathan. A guy comes in, he's casing the place. He has a gun to make sure everything is safe. What do actors do? What's the number one mistake?
Well, it changes. The thing about the number one mistake, if I say number one mistake actors make is not being super tight with the lines. So it's like, well, are we talking about working actors? Then we have to break things down. It's like most actors, well, most actors are basic and not great. Most actors that are in SAG are just eh, right? And look, there's working actors that aren't great with memorizing their lines. And for me, it starts there. And I tell actors, if you know your fucking lines, like your birthday, I can make you look like a genius. I can make you look like a genius. We only got a half hour, an hour. And if you know them, I can pull out acting, filmmaking tricks, if you will, to make them look like a fucking pro. But if they don't have their lines memorized, and I'm talking like down, not I know them in the car, I kind of know them. No, no, no. Know them. Then I can start. Because I don't do the typical acting teacher bullshit. We're not talking about backstory and get like I'm very like down to
Okay, so
the
hold on.
facts.
Okay, Jonathan. Like, okay, I like that with the facts. When you see a script, all right, the sides, not the script. Let's say you got the sides.
Mhm.
The first thing you look for before you coach an actor is you're saying facts. Now, give me an example of your latest audition that you work with someone. Like, talk to me about that. When it really breaks it down,
Mm.
really break it down.
Most actors don't know how to give exposition, and everything today is exposition. So I don't bash acting studios. It's not my style. If someone says, "Hey, I'm studying such and such," I don't do that. I never throw salt on anyone's game. If
Hmm.
they ask me, I say, "Give it a go." Right? What I will say is places like Strasbourg and some of these studios, Strasbourg's dead, so now you're studying with, I don't know, his Uber driver, whoever they have over there, but you're learning sense memory. And what I see the issue is there is you're learning these outdated techniques and you're trying to apply them to a 2026 world of TikTok and second screen viewing and exposition to where it's all talking. If you close your eyes and listen to Law and Order or The Rookie or any of that shit and you lay on the couch blindfolded, you get it. You don't even need to see it. You really don't. Why would you go to these certain academies or whatever? Again, I'm not bashing them. They have their applications. It's not going to help you book. And most actors don't know how to give exposition and they don't understand on camera technique and that I have to act different here than I do if I'm back there in a cowboy. And if you're on stage and you're just, people get caught up in the trauma bonding of it all and you're working on sense memory and all that and then someone says, "Well, here's 2 pages for Law and Order." And you're playing Eddie Mata. He's a hitman and he's got 2 pages of dialogue. Okay. And here's the world we live in. It's 3:08 my time. It ain't impossible that, oh, it's 3 o'clock. You need this thing doing by 8 o'clock. Okay, fine, it's due tomorrow. But you got a wife and baby and you're getting on an airplane. So you gotta have it down by 8 o'clock tonight. We don't have time for the bullshit, Eddie. You come to me and I'm like, well, just memorize the lines real quick. Memorize them. You can memorize them. You can memorize them in an hour. Now I can make you look like a genius and you will have it in by 6 o'clock early. But just looking at what are you doing in the scene? What's going on here? You're talking. You're talking. We don't need backstory. What's the character's name? Tony Monscoli. Okay, he's probably Italian. And what are the facts on the page? Where are we? That's what I'm looking at. Where are we? Interior, warehouse, night. Okay, Tony Monscoli has Doug Washington tied to a chair. Done. I already know what the fucking scene is. If it says that, interior, warehouse, night, Tony Monscoli has Doug Washington strapped to a chair. Done. We're chilling. Know the lines and I'll get you there.
Okay,
Because you're
so
going to threaten them.
okay, so
That's it.
it's pretty much it's a main action, one overall action. You're threatening him.
Yeah. What do I need him to understand? I don't do want, objective, motivation, intention. That shit doesn't, I don't even understand that. And there's so many things that people still teach. What do you want? It should, like, if it's a want thing, you know what you want. Like, it's there. So to even do, like, oh, super objective, what? It's fucking stupid. Because if I'm doing a scene with you and you're Doug and I have you tied to a chair and it says you want him dead. Oh, really? Bang. But oh no, John, you can't do that. Well, what? I got a gun. He's there. I want him dead. Well, no, you have to wait. So that's stupid. So you want him dead, but XXX. No, no, fuck that. That's stupid. What do I need you to understand?
So that's your technique. Well, instead of saying what do you want, what do you need to understand? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, what do I need you to understand if I'm threatening you and I say, if you don't put 100 million in Bitcoin in my fucking account tomorrow, I'm coming after you and your family. Boom. What do I want? Oh, 100 billion in my Okay, well, that's fucking stupid. I need you to understand if you don't, X. And it's easier. It's just easier and the way I came up with that is because I think it's a benefit of having less time. Of, okay, well, how quick? I got 5 hours. How quick can I break this down? Well, that's weird. I murdered that. And I didn't need to do backstory. Well, Tony Monscoli, does he come from a broken home?
Yeah, I think that's
Why is he
bullshit
a
too. Yeah, I don't.
Well, which part of Italy? Is he Sicilian? Shut the fuck up. Doesn't matter. What accent do you want? Okay, boom, done. But actors make everything a little more extra. Oh, and maybe I'll give him a toothpick. How about you don't give him a fucking toothpick? The last thing we need is another Italian mobster with a toothpick. And that's where your instincts get you in trouble. So someone might go, oh, Tony Monscoli, Law and Order, shoots in New York. He's a hitman. So their instincts are going to lead them down what I say is the basic bitch road. So maybe they start doing this, and it's like Andrew Dice Clay, and they got like a toothpick, and it's like, okay, well now you lost. So I already know what 80% of actors are going to do, an affectation or a caricature.
So
So
pretty
I know
much.
most because
So Jonathan, you're pretty much saying use your fucking self. That's the bottom line. Use yourself
Well,
and
I have
how
to
to
be careful
threaten.
saying that.
No?
I have
Okay,
to,
go ahead.
because what is yourself,
Right, but in
right?
that circumstance, you're a hitman. Well, then guess what? I'm gonna take this personal. I'm gonna make that character personal. The guy that posing me, the one I want to kill.
Yeah, yes, but here's where you have to be, and this is where acting platitudes fall apart.
Hmm.
Is, oh, be yourself. Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait a second. I'm Italian. My grandpa's from Italy,
Right,
and you seem Italian, but they might, even if you're not Italian, they might give you the role because you look it. But what if myself isn't good or interesting, or it's boring?
right,
And it's like, well, this is myself, and I'm just saying this as myself. It's what you. It's no different than someone going on a date. And you say, well, be yourself. Well, what if they burp and pick their nose and they're going on a date? Well, no, be yourself. You can't say be yourself,
right, right.
because what if they have no couth?
Well, how about this? Not be yourself. Use yourself. Is that the correct
Sure,
word?
but use yourself. Yes, well, all you have is yourself anyways,
Hmm.
right? I'm stuck in this body. So yes, use yourself, but then you have to know, can I trust my instincts or not? And you have to have the experience. It's like I say in a street fight, someone will say, you say trust your instincts. Mike Tyson can trust his instincts in a street fight. Jon Jones can trust his instincts in a street fight. You and I can't. Our instincts might go, fuck it, I'm gonna fight all three of them, and you end up dead.
Right.
And you shouldn't have trusted your instincts because that ain't your. You have to have the experience. I've seen probably 100,000 auditions, literally. My data says Italian mobster hitman, everyone's gonna come in too hard. I bet a dollar to a dime, too hard with that accent, too thick, and they're gonna do something that's going to dip them into a caricature or an affectation.
So it's a trap.
It's a trap. So then maybe if it's no, like this is too much, so then I think maybe I whisper it, and it's a very slight and subtle, and you're gonna put that money in my account, and then I might treat. Okay, I'm threatening this guy. Okay, well, it's easy to come off bombastic or aggressive. What's the opposite of that? Now I'm going to talk to this guy that I'm threatening like he's a supermodel. Boom. So I found a way in, right? That's the opposite thing. If you look at Christopher Walken in True Romance,
Oh yeah.
right? You got that scene with him and Dennis Hopper. On paper, you got a problem. And it's very cliche and it's so many traps. Christopher Walken just smiles the whole time. He might as well have an 80-year-old woman with an oxygen tank across from him because he's very respectful and he does his thing and he smiles the whole time. That or Christoph Waltz in Inglorious Bastards.
Oh,
He
he's
doesn't raise his voice. Think about it. He's there. He's a SS soldier for Hitler looking for Jews. And he's sitting there drinking milk. So you can look at the context of the scene. This is how you get in. And it's not this big thinking process for me. It's not. It's how can I come at this different? I know what everyone else is going to do. So how can I get casting to stop and go, oh shit, he got us. I didn't see it coming. Thank you for the breath of fresh air. And it's like dating. This is where some parallels come in from what I see having been in that environment of the strip club. If you're dating and there's a woman in a gym and she's attractive, every dude in that gym goes and works out next to her, goes and talks to her. That is not what you want to do. Your best bet to get her attention is to completely ignore her and go nowhere near her. And if she comes and works out next to you, you walk away.
I hear you, brother. I
It's the
hear you.
same thing with acting and casting. What's everyone doing? Hey, thanks for calling me in. Hey, Jonathan Stanley, 5'11", available for dates. And I'm really, everyone does that shit.
How would you do it?
There's Jonathan Stanley, 5'11", Los Angeles.
All business. Fuck out. That's it.
Well, I mean, like, if what do you think? I'm a prick
Right, right,
because I didn't. No, I did the audition. You like it or you don't, and I'm moving on.
right. Because
There's a
it's like,
psychology to this that most people don't understand. There is a psychology to everything. I'm selling something. I'm selling me. And most actors fall into a basic, and they don't even realize it. They don't even realize it. It's like if you go to the good-looking girl in the gym and you say, "What does every guy say when he walks up to you?" They're gonna say, "Oh," he either says, "Don't I know you from somewhere?" or "Can I work in with you?" So how do you stand out?
Right.
It's the same thing with casting. What are you gonna kiss their ass more than the next guy? If you do good work, you don't have you're a pro. Here's my work. If you like it, cool. We can have a, good working relationship. If you don't, that's fine too.
But John, I'm sure you and I know you probably had great actors come in. You helped them nail the audition, and they still don't get the fucking call, right? I
Mhm.
mean, they
Tons, tons.
ton, right? I mean, that's and it's crazy because this is an occupation that you could be the best and still not work, you know?
Yeah, it's not a meritocracy.
Right,
Yes. But if you're good, you will work. Maybe not as much as you would like,
right.
but you will work.
How many auditions that you went through that you finally booked? Like, did you ever count, like, man, this is my 40th? Shit, I still haven't. Or you don't do
No.
that?
No, and you know what? I can't do 10 without something happening. Usually 5.
5 auditions, something's gonna
That's
happen.
oh, for me, yes. I've
Wow.
gotten yeah, and I can prove it. I'm getting pinned or called back. Something's happening after 5. Definitely. Auditioning is now, that's not for everyone. I made a video on this the other day. Hollywood and acting and auditioning is like a casino. And if you walk into a casino with $5,000, odds are you're not walking out with it. Now, there's games. And you say, well, is the slot machine the same as blackjack? Absolutely not. So, how can I leave not only with my $5,000, but with their $5,000 richer? What game has the best odds? Blackjack. Okay, you need to learn how to count cards. And that's what it is with acting. You need to tip the scale. The scale isn't in your favor. It's like this. You're doing good if you can just do this. Like blackjack, it's like it's 1% in their favor. Get it 1% in your favor. How do you do that? By controlling everything you can control. And that's what I do with all my auditions. Everything, I have control over everything as far as my auditions go. They have none except do they press play and giving me the job. I have the control. Everything I can control, I'm counting cards. I'm counting cards. Everything I'm doing is tipping that scale in my favor. So when I get the audition, odds are you're looking for a white man like me. Okay, I'm at the table. You're not looking for a 20-year-old Latino. You're looking for a middle-aged white dude that's rugged, probably. And now I'm here, and now I'm counting cards. I'm gonna be super memorized. I'm gonna make a choice that I'm gonna break the rules. I'm gonna split tens. I'm gonna split jacks. I'm gonna double a 12. Wait, you can't do that. Yes, I can. I counted the cards. I will make a bold choice, a strong choice. That's how you tip the scales in your favor. So if I do 5 auditions, yes, something is happening. I'm not going 10 auditions and not booking. I'm not.
Holy
No,
shit, I love that.
no, I'm not. I'm getting pinned or called back. And if I don't book, it's like, dude, we loved you. This dude's a bigger name. I can live with that. But if I do 10 auditions, I'm probably booking. And that's a 10% booking ratio. And I show my tapes to my class. I'm one of the few. I show my tapes to my class. Even
Okay,
in my acting class,
s
I'll lay down a self-tape.
are there any auditions that are you allowed to talk about right now that you did that what choices you made that you were like, "Okay, I had this one audition," and in your mind, you were saying, "I guarantee 200 actors would do this shit, but I'm gonna stand out." Give me an example.
Yes, and I probably maybe I shouldn't have posted it, but I do anyways. It's on my Instagram. It's a cop audition I did for Mayor of Kingstown.
Okay, go ahead.
And
What was the circumstance? What was going on?
a cop pulls a female over.
Mm-hmm.
for rolling through a stop sign.
Okay.
Now, this audition, I can't give away too many secrets. You can watch it on my page. I'll send it to you.
Mm-hmm.
This audition is everything I teach about on camera technique. And where are we? Who am I talking to? What is going on in this? Now, it's a cop. A lady rolled through a stop sign. Everyone usually plays the uniform or the wardrobe. Oh, it's a cop. I'm a cop. Look, the badge is the badge. I got a fucking badge. I don't need to be a cop. What's a cop, anyways? It's a badge and a gun. I don't need to be a motherfucker. What I did was, before I even started the audition, I was singing Blues Clues to take all my testosterone and alphaness and ruggedness down. So I was singing Blues Clues. I told my wife, roll the camera, and I sung Blues Clues, and then I walked right up to the car, and
And
I started
and
doing the
that
singing.
wasn't in the script as far as the action, right? None of that.
No, but I cut the Blues Clues out, but it was me with my moment before, if you will, because I can have a tendency, if you put a badge and a gun on me, I already look like a motherfucker, and it was coming off too heavy. And I said, "You know what, man? No, I got" my daughter was 2 at the time or something. I said, I'm just gonna bring that into it. And I sung Blues Clues, and it took all it went like this, boom, estrogen up, testosterone down, and it took all the stuff right off that. And it was probably, I still think, one of my best auditions, even though I didn't book it.
Well, hold on, Jonathan. So you're telling me in
Yes.
the audition, you're coming in and you're singing blues clues? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and I cut it off.
Okay, you cut it off.
Yeah.
And then what
So
happened?
I'm saying, "Have you seen my dog Blue? Do 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 do." You rode right through that stop sign, man. See, it took the stank off,
Mhm. But another
and
actor
that's the
now,
opposite.
but the other actors, the ordinary, would do what? You went through a stop sign, just went right to it, right?
No, I pulled you over, you rolled right through that stop sign, man. I'm a motherfucker. It's like, "Oh, whoa, 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 here you're talking to a fucking 5'4" teeny white girl, and you got a gun, bro. Chill. It's another day at the office. There's nothing to see here. There's no but that's playing the problem. That's playing the problem, like, "You smell a problem? I smell a problem." That's playing the uniform, so you gotta bring the humanity to it. What's a cop? My uncle was a cop. I
Right.
hang out with cops, and they're fucking normal fucking people that talk shit, and and
So they're
that's
being
it.
so that they're being human. That's the bottom line. That's what you brought.
Yeah. You rolled through a stop sign, you little white girl. "Can I have your license?" That's it, right? Like, but I'm looking at the facts. Who am I talking to? Some fucking skinny little white girl.
Right.
Do I think she's a threat? No, this is all I do all day is pull people over, right? And then the scene escalates, and it's like there ain't a problem till there is a problem.
So okay, so now okay, so break it down. So now you did the song and you cut that out, right? And then what'd you start off
I asked for her license and registration,
with? Mhm.
and you take it, you do that, and then she gives, that's not, I don't have a license, I don't have it on me. It's like, well, now we're heading into the problem. Well, now we have a problem. Can I get you to step out of the car? But even on a line, like, can I get you to step out of the car? It's like everyone's going to play that heavy. But the whole time I'm like, it's just another day. Like I'm making a sandwich, right? You, you have to know now if it's three gangbangers, I'm coming in different. I'm coming in the alpha. It changes. Context matters. Who am I talking to?
Right.
What's going on? That matters. And you have to keep that in your head, not the uniform. Oh, this guy's a cop or he's a prick, which is why a lot of times I ignore the character description in the breakdown because it'll paint you into a corner. You can't put me or Eddie Mata into a 4 or 5 line breakdown. You can't do that. It's
S-
impossible
So
because
you ignore
context
that. So
matters.
you ignore the character description. You don't give a shit about that.
Yes. No, I want to know what's going on that page.
So pretty much what the fuck is going on right now? That's all I want to know.
Yes. Yeah.
Beautiful.
What right now is going on? I don't care about yesterday or tomorrow. It's I equate it to I watched it to my own detriment. I shouldn't. These videos on YouTube of plane crashes. This guy, he has a channel called Pilot Debrief,
Hmm.
and he breaks down plane crashes. And it's always 95% of the time, pilot error. They fucked up somewhere.
Right.
They fucked up. It's not usually the plane. They just didn't hit their checklist, and it's like, "Oh, I thought we had more gas," or, "I didn't know they were bringing 3 extra people, and that's gonna make the nose go up," and all that shit matters, and it's just negligence, and that's what happens with actors, is they don't hit the checklist of the facts. I don't care what the weather was yesterday or
Mhm.
2 hours ago. What is it now? What is the weather right now? Who am I talking to? So if it says Tony Manscoli, hitman, 40 years old, Italian, da 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 da. But then the scene is you playing bingo with your grandma on oxygen. What the fuck does it matter if you're a hitman? What does it matter if you're Italian? The only thing I need to know is, does he have an accent? Like, I'm gonna look and see. Does he? Oh, he doesn't have an accent. Okay, fine. Doesn't matter.
So with that grandma playing bingo, then you would be like a soft person, right? It's your grandma,
Exactly.
right?
Where am I? In a nursing home. What am I doing? Playing bingo. With who? My grandma. What are we talking about? Her house and having a yard sale. Okay, what the fuck does it matter if I'm a hitman? Because then what do I do? What do you want to do about this, Grandma? Do you want to sell your knickknacks? Is that what you want to do? It's like, what the fuck? No, no. The 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 nail is the nail, as David Mamet would say. The cop is the cop. The badge is the badge. I don't need to be a cop. There's a badge. I'm a cop. Get out of your car. So then
Right.
I don't need to put more on it and go, this cop's a motherfucker. If I pull you over and say, step out of the car, all I gotta do is say the line. I don't need backstory. Why am I it doesn't fucking matter.
And how could there be a backstory when you just pull this guy? You don't even know the guy.
Yeah. Yeah, what does it matter why I do it doesn't even matter why I do what I do. Like, I played a couple racists. I played a white supremacist on Chicago PD. I don't go, "Why is this guy a racist?" He's a fucking racist because that's how they wrote the script. So when I'm talking to whoever I'm talking to and they cut the camera, it makes sense. If I say, "I don't like you," I can look at a piece of tape and go, "I don't like you." Then whenever they cut the camera to whoever, they're gonna go, "He's a racist." And that's the magic of the edit. I don't need to go, "Well, what do I think of Latinos or what?" That's bullshit. That is bullshit. I don't need the backstory.
You're just
That
racist.
that's
That's it. You're racist.
that's yeah, you tell me to say these words, and when you cut the camera, it'll be a juxtaposition of that.
And it would justify why you're racist already, right?
Yes, well, in editing, it's called, I'm gonna butcher the name, he's the Russian editor, the Kirchhoff technique, and you
Mm.
can watch examples of that on YouTube,
Right, right.
right? If you say the director says, "You know what? Say, look right here," and say, "I wanna spend my life with you," and Eddie Mata goes, "I wanna spend my life with you." Who I cut to next changes how we perceive you,
Right.
right? If it's you and a 16-year-old girl, it's like, "This dude's a creep." If it's an 80-year-old woman, it's like, This is weird." Everything changes, context it's like a dog, it's like, okay, you could cut that's it, but you don't need to actors get they take on the burden of trying to play every position on the field, and they think that they're always Tom Brady. You're not always Tom Brady. A lot of times you're the fucking water boy that gives Tom Brady his Gatorade, or you're the guy that gives Tom Brady the ball. And we go, "Oh, no, no, no. It's not about you."
It's about them.
Y Yeah, yeah, most of the time, it's you passing the ball. Just pass the ball. And don't get so, "Oh, I need to do" it doesn't matter what you're feeling. It fucking doesn't matter. And the way I developed a lot of this is I make a lot of my own content, shorts, if you will, and I've edited so much, and I've had to cut myself. I've made shorts and been, "Oh, man, I gotta cut to Eddie because I licked my lips there. I gotta cut to Eddie because I blinked on a line when I'm trying to convince something and it looks weird if I blink or I did something weird or my eye line's off. So now I gotta cut and I gotta cut to Eddie." And you go, "Well, that worked and it made me look like a genius." So, and Jason Bateman talks about this when he was doing Ozark because he wrote it, directed it, and that while he's doing the scene, because we often hear about that too, be present, be in the moment. A lot of that's bullshit. And Jason Bateman says when he's doing Ozark, he's editing. I do that. He's editing while he shoots, and he knows, oh, I need an eye line here. I got to look at Eddie here. Eddie pulls the gun out. I got to chalk. And Jeff Daniels and uh, J.K. Simmons are like, what the fuck? What do you mean you're editing while you shoot? They were so like blown away by that. That's what I do. And some of my best work is like me knowing, "Oh, I got to look here. I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to block it. And when I edit it, it's going to look like a genius." But the whole time I'm like, "That's just fucking." I just moved to C stand,
Right. So
and after doing that, I realized, oh, it's so bullshit. I didn't have to feel anything. And I studied Strasbourg, and you do the sense memory thing, and you go, "Wow, I'm fucked up. I have a lot of trauma. I'm going to use that." It's on you. Like you said, you looked at a picture, man, goes, "This guy's been through some shit." I obviously must look like I've been through some shit, and I have, but do you need to smell it? Do you wanna taste it? No, dude, it's enough to just see it. You drive by a cemetery and you go, "It's a cemetery." Do we have to go in there and now dig up the bodies? No, why? It's enough. It's spooky enough without digging up the bodies. And it's the same thing with acting. A picture is enough. We don't have to go, we're going to sit around and sing Kumbaya and cry. And Eddie's going to talk about his dad when he was drunk, abusing his mom. And then we'll start the scene. You can't, you need technique that at a moment's notice,
you need
you need
technique. Go
technique
ahead.
that at a moment's notice, you can turn it on and repeat that consistently over and over and over at a moment's notice. There's nothing you could have me do right now that I couldn't turn on if it doesn't have an accent and repeat for you over the course of 30 minutes or an hour if I have the lines memorized over and over and over. And that's my foundation. That's my technique. And if you're with Fincher, he's going to go, dude, I don't care about you being abused as a kid. Do it again. We're going to do this 100 times. And we're not waiting for you to drum up your emotion. And I know someone that worked with Fincher and he said something great. I wrote it down. I hope I'm not. He said, I said, "What'd you learn from Fincher?" He was in Mindhunter. I hope I'm not butchering this. I think I'm getting it right. He said that there's freedom in fatigue.
Fatigue.
Fincher made him do it so many times, he just beat the fucking acting out of him.
Wow. That's amazing.
I love that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because the first 10, it's like, oh, he's acting. Okay, he scratched his nose. He's a fucking itch and scratch actor. Maybe, you know what? I want to ask you something. It's like, oh, you're acting. And Fincher will beat that out of you. And you go, well, that fucking sucked. I didn't do anything. Cut, print.
Wow. So you're when you teach that you have a class, right? Is that what you do? You teach a
Mhm.
class? Okay, so when you
On
teach a
camera.
class on camera, the first when they pick up when you guys pick up a script, you ask the actor, "What are your three basic questions?" What'd you say before? The first question is
Here's
what?
what here's yeah, here's what I teach actors. Where are we?
Where are we?
Who are we talking to? What's the relationship? Who and or what are we talking about? And you can stick in what am I doing if I'm cleaning my kitchen, right? What am I doing? But that's it. Like, what are the facts? Where am I? Am I in church? Oh, you're in church.
Then you have to
Who
act
are you talking
differently in
to?
the church, then, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Right.
You're in church, it's empty, and you and your brother Eddie are sitting in a pew. Okay, so I'm in a church with my brother Eddie and we're in a pew. Okay, cool. Well, we're going to be respectful. Nice. I mean, take it. Okay. You guys are both Catholic. Cool. Okay. There's that. Now I just need to know who are we talking about and what are we talking about? You guys are talking about the bank robbery you did last week. Okay. And then I just need to know my opinion on that. And that's it. Who and or what are we talking about? What do I think about who? What do I think about what? We start talking about grandma and we're robbing a bank so we can get our grandma health care. Okay, what do I think about grandma? And then we start talking about Tony Monscoli, who helped us rob the bank, and he's a snitch, and we got to get rid of him. Okay, well, now what do I think of Tony? Job done. Now I just got to memorize the lines,
I
and I
love
need to know
that.
my frame
Look how simple it is. But according to you, it's simple, right? But it takes a lot of reps
to make
to
it that simple.
make it that simple. And that's what I mean. Like me being a former athlete, collegiate level, it's like, oh man, how do you not strike out? How do you always make contact? Well, I take 300 swings every day during those days, to make it simple, to
Yep.
to be consistent, and and that's it's really hard to do because you ever see plays like how's Tom Brady make it look so easy?
Sure. Well, I coach Anderson Silva, and he told me something. He said, I won almost all my fights with the basics, with the fundamentals.
Yeah.
Now, if you said Anderson Silva, what do you do if someone like grabs you? He'd go, "Oh, easy, you do this." And it's like, well, yeah, easy for him to say, right? Or you might say, what makes it, he might go, well, if someone punches, you move your head. It's like, yeah, that's the gist of it, right? Oh, move your head and punch him back. It's like, okay, well, for him, it's just like, oh, you just move and punch him. It's like, okay, well, now we have to get to the point to where we know how to move, how much, and punch, right? So, but what he was saying is the fundamentals will save you. Sure, he's done
But the
some cool
fundamentals
shit.
is over 10,000 hours of training. That's what people don't
Yes,
understand.
yes, yes. So I have to know, and how does the camera read me? How tight are we? Do I want to even look at you if we're next to each other? What?
On camera with the self tape auditioning, what happens when you have like three people? I know what's going on, but I just want to see what your take is. Like if you're talking to three people, your eyes. Now listen, in film, it's huge. Stillness is very powerful. That's what I learned. Okay,
Mhm.
so what eye level, for instance, if there's two detectives, or actually three detectives, let's say, all right, here's an example. You're looking at me right now, right? So
Mhm.
if one detective asks me a question, I'm talking to this detective. Like you can't look at the camera, but I'm saying to the right. Okay, here's one person I'm talking to. Now, if another person asks me a question, is it going like this, or is it more like eyes?
Well, it depends too. What's your opinion on the 3 cops? Are 2 of them? I like to keep eye lines to 2
To
as a
two?
rule,
Okay.
and I'm careful about crossing the glass sometimes. I have to, like, every situation is different, and there's a whole psychology to that. So I like to keep everything, say 2 cops are both hounding
So
you, and
give
it's
me an
like, "Oh, they're bo."
example. Give me an example right now. Let's say you're on camera right now. Well, you are on camera right now, but go ahead. Give me an
Mhm.
example. You got, let's say, two detectives. Okay. Now, this guy right here, well, right when you're looking at me right now, you're talking to me right now to one detective. Now, let's say the other
Right.
detective asks a question. So go ahead, do it.
Well, it depends. So if you're both motherfuckers and you're both accusing me
Hmm.
and you're both, say, bad cop, I'm just gonna keep everything on you for simplicity.
So you want to
'Cause
look.
but
You want to look to look.
well, if my point of view on both of you is you're both motherfuckers, then I'm gonna keep it on you, right? Say it's like, "Oh, dude, I just got this, it's due in an hour." I don't now have to memorize, well, which now I have to memorize which cop's talking and when. I could have someone, like, do this and go, "Well, now this guy's talking." Okay, cool, there's that. But I try to keep everything to 2 even if there is 3 cops, and then I'm gonna say which 2 cops are similar. If there's 1 good cop and then or 2 of these over here are motherfuckers, I'm putting both the motherfuckers over here. That way it's clear if I'm talking to this
Okay,
person
so
that's good.
you're talking right here, right? So then,
Yeah, say I like you, and you're being diplomatic, and then over there, I don't like these motherfuckers.
okay, so
So I'm gonna
yeah,
lump
so
them
see what I
both.
mean? That's a technique
Boom.
of your eyes right there. You didn't move your head,
Yeah,
but you moved your
yeah.
eyes just to have your focus on them just for a little bit. Like, yeah, whatever, dickheads.
I spend so much time, and my actors are cut different that coach with me. That's why I can almost say you're wasting your time if you're in a class and it takes place on stage. Because I could walk into almost any acting school that takes place on a stage and say, "Who's your best fucking actor in here? Who's the best?" And they say, "Eddie." And I say, "Okay, Eddie, I'm gonna come back in an hour with my camera. Here's some sides for the rookie. I'm gonna come back and we're gonna shoot this. And you should be able to murder it without no notes." They can't. Most can't. That's a problem. That's a problem. Then what are you doing? Why are you doing that? It makes no sense to me. So it's the equivalent of, in my experience, you're you want to be a UFC fighter, but you only take boxing classes. And then they put you in an octagon and it's like, oh, they can kick here. Oh fuck. Well, then what was I doing? Yeah, those are the rules. And it's the same thing with stage acting. And then because so many actors come in and I'm like, no one told you that? No one pointed that out to you? Your teacher didn't? You've been there 3 years? No, no, we roll around on the floor.
It's called movement class. I went through that shit.
Right? But it's like, well, dude, you just you're telling Ice T where the dead body is for 2 pages. stand here, give this exposition, and get the fuck out of here.
Right.
Well, wait, what a second. Hold on. No, you don't need anything. You need to fucking stand here without moving and give that exposition. And so much of acting is knowing how to deliver exposition. Too many acting classes spend most of their time. If you've been around enough acting classes, I teach this in my acting class. You go to most of them, most of the men are yelling and trying to seduce. What I say is like a fight seduction, and most of the women are crying and suffering. It's backwards. It's 80% of the time, if not more, spent on that. All the guys want to yell and make out, and all the girls want to cry. 90% of what comes in my fucking studio is this. Just talking, just fucking talking. So why are you on class? Why are you in class working on such high stakes scenes? If you want to be a working actor, you need to learn how to fucking talk. Sure, it ain't sexy. Most scenes done right are boring as fuck. Boring. That's where the money's made. And everyone else is going, yeah, hold on a second. I want to cry. It's like, I don't get crying scenes. I don't get seduction scenes. I get talk scenes. I threaten you. So why would I go into a class where it's like, oh, and I'm yelling? Because actors are in love with their trauma and then they masturbate to it. My trauma's better than Eddie. My trauma's better than Eddie's trauma. Yeah, but you weren't molested by your uncle. I was. Yours was just a Boy Scout leader. Mine was. It's like no one fucking cares. No one cares.
So you're
Sorry,
saying,
that sucks.
Jonathan, you're saying communication is the key, right? You got to learn how to communicate on camera.
Learn how to talk,
Wow.
but it ain't fun. It ain't sexy. It dips into boring, and most actors don't know how to do it. And that's why my actors book so much, and that's why the actors that I coach and apply what I teach them are captivating on screen because it's you need to master this frame.
Mm.
The frame doesn't care about your feelings. If I look out there right now and I smile and then I pop over here, done. I can do that. And I said, that's it. And then cut to whatever you want to cut to. Doesn't matter. Just cut to it. That's it. Wait, what the fuck is that? I don't need to go, hold on, give me a second. No, I don't. That's bullshit. That's such fucking bullshit. Now, Jack Nicholson said, whatever works, that's the method. If someone is method and it works and they're like, I don't know, like a fucking Sean Penn or a Christian Bale, I go, dude, they're fucking goats. I can't say shit about Sean Penn. Whatever he's doing, please keep doing it. But most actors are trying to do that and it doesn't benefit them.
So you're saying most actors are trying to be interesting and you don't have to do that.
No, and that's subjective. What is interesting,
Right. That's true. What is
right?
interesting? Right.
What is interesting? It's it's Dale Carnegie. By finding the other person interesting, you become interesting. It's like a seduction scene. And so many actors, when they think they have to be sexy, they try to then be sexy, right? And guys will do like it's like, oh, that's actually the opposite. And I teach this to actors. Talk to the model that you're seducing like it's your grandma in a nursing home. And that'll take all the sex off it. And then you're just actually a good person that cares. And then you get like Ryan Gosling. Look at Ryan Gosling in Drive. It's like, oh wow, he's handsome. He's yeah, okay, that's if that's if he's your type. That's it. He's not trying to be sexy.
Right. Right. That is
You
so.
can see when
Yeah. It's
you
like,
can see when the actors do. You can see when Brad Pitt, you can see certain actors that are very self-aware and they go, "Oh, when I do this look, it's sexy." But the best thing is just putting the attention on the other person. It's Dale Carnegie. You'll make far more friends in a day becoming interested in other people than you will in a year by trying to get people interested in you, which is basically fucking Meisner.
oh shit, you dissing my program, baby? All right, go ahead. Now, listen, you told me on the
Yeah, and
phone.
I studied Meisner, and you know what I tell actors? Go buy Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Is that a
And
book?
Meisner has it's one of the best books ever written.
Okay, you make sure you text me that name because I'm definitely going to buy that. So now listen,
Right.
I'm a Meisner guy, and I really love the
Mhm,
program. I mean, it
mhm.
really changed me. But here's the thing: you said when we were talking on the phone that you told me that and Meisner is not a now. correct me if I'm wrong. Did you say Meisner's
Mhm.
not really good for on-camera auditioning? Correct?
Or acting, unless it's a 50-50
Okay, so
and it's
give
a
me an
two shot.
example. Give me an example.
Okay, man, I got so many good examples. I think Meisner was, and I could be wrong, developed for the stage. The whole thing's a wide shot and a two shot, and your pinch, my ouch, is justified by your pinch,
Right.
right? If you go like this to me, I can't go, oh, and I fall to the floor. It's like, well, no, 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 no. You can't do that, right? So it's like you have to react honestly and listen, saying, okay, fine. And it's great for that. And then you say, well, how does that apply to on camera acting? What if you go into the room and the casting director is a 5'4" woman and I'm threatening a 6'4" NFL player? Oh, use it. Use the anger that it's not. That is bullshit. You better have your fucking performance baked. You better have it baked and locked in. It's like, what? No, this is it. This is my interpretation. That's it. You trust me to give that. Now, in a two shot, if it's not a two shot, a 50-50, we're both on screen. It's like, okay, that's close to theater. You say something and I say it back and there's no cuts. So I better justify that. That's about the closest we're going to get. But as far as acting, what if I don't get you? What if I get your stand-in, which happens, or you get food poisoning and you leave and I'm reading with, I need to be able to go, I don't fucking need anyone. My performance isn't dictated on you showing up or you giving me anything. You can be a dick and not give me anything. Or I can't tell you how many times there's a big one. If I look at the actor, they fall apart. It doesn't make them bad actors. Now, should they be ready to look at me? Yes, there's been actors. I've been on set with series regs, and if I look at them, they can't get their lines out of their mouth. Swear to God. But if I do this and I let them riff, they look amazing. So I've done that. That's something you got to watch out for. So they're great there, but if I looked at them, they'd fuck up. It's like, well, you have to be ready for whatever. And with auditioning, it's like you're not going to get the reader you need. You're not going to get the reader you need. That's like actors will call me, "Hey, I need a female. Can I What? I'm not going to get a fucking female for you to read with. You should be able to do it with me. To a piece of tape." The Meisner, again, has its applications. There's things I like about it getting you out of your head. And if I put all my attention on you and I look and I go, oh, okay. Yeah, he's got a gray beard. He's got this. I'm not thinking about myself. But if I sit here the whole time and I watch myself during the interview, I'm like, oh, shit, I got bags under my eyes. That's the last place I want to be. So Meisner's good for that. I'll put my attention on you and I can be more authentic, but it doesn't help you with on camera acting, I don't think at all, unless a perfect storm. And it's like, okay, you, it's John and Angelina Jolie and their romantic partners. Oh, this is great. This won't be hard. It doesn't work like that. And we don't, things evolve. And a lot of these techniques, and God bless them, I've studied them and I had a lot of reverence for them of Strasberg and Meisner. It's like learning how to develop film, but you want to be on TikTok. It does you no fucking good. Things evolve. The UFC 1 through 10 through 20, them motherfuckers wouldn't stand a chance with them guys today. They would get murdered. It would be a bloodbath. Why? Well, it's just fighting. Fighting has evolved. Working out has evolved. Nutrition has evolved. Recovery has evolved. They weren't doing cold plunge and sauna and low carb diets at UFC 1. Things have changed. Supplements have changed. So to go, oh, acting, it's always been the truth. Whoa, 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 whoa. Law and Order, where you can make a fuck ton of money and knock down a couple mil a year if you get on Law and Order. You couldn't take that into Stella Adler, Strasburg, or Meisner. They'd go get the fuck out of here. We're doing Tennessee Williams. Show, don't tell. Now today it's tell, tell, tell. So why are actors in these classes when it has nothing? y- uh, Fucking Vincent D'Onofrio made way more money than Stella Adler. No, I'm not. I mean, this is an example of a TV actor. I mean, fucking Shamar Moore. Shamar Moore made way more money than Stella Adler, Uta Hagen, every acting teacher combined, and their students. Throw Brando in combined. So you have to know, what do you want? If you want to be like the artsy theater actor, then go do that. But if you want to make a living and work and get SAG health insurance and pay your rent, you better figure out this formula. Because I say the TV nowadays is like fast food. It is. If you watch Netflix, if you turn on your TV, it's like fast food. Say what you want about it, someone's watching it, someone's eating it. I would rather own a Taco Bell than Nobu Sushi. You might go, "Oh, that's trash. Taco Bell's trash." Taco Bell makes more money than Nobu Sushi. So say what you want, someone's eating it. You give me a Taco Bell in the ghetto over Nobu Sushi. So while everyone's percent, "Oh, yeah, but Wolfgang Puck," and then fuck that. Say what you want about it. So why are you pursuing a job at Taco Bell and you're training with Wolfgang Puck? And you probably ain't even training with Wolfgang Puck.
Mm. Good point, John. Good point. Liked it. So, wow,
Business.
that's yeah, it's business. Now, so what would you tell an actor if he starts off and says, "Listen, Jonathan, I'm very green. I'm trying to get into acting." Would you suggest for him to go to any of these conservatory acting schools if he wants to be a film TV actor?
No, because what I think would happen, even though I started at those, I've started in theater and was pretty fucking good at theater and sucked on camera. I remember my first play, they were doing write-ups about me, and I mean, they are writing about me in the paper. Trash as an on-camera actor. Sucked at auditioning. Had nothing to do with nothing. Sure, I could memorize my lines and I could be big and get away with being big, and I could do all this shit on stage and it would work, right? But then it's like, okay, well, now here's this. It's like, oh, I don't even know what the fuck to do with this. And why would you then go to and what would it help you with? Maybe work ethic, but you're better off just grabbing miscellaneous sides and memorizing them and having the slate clean and then coming to someone, either me or someone that knows on camera acting and says, they have no bad habits, right?
Hmm.
Like Mike Tyson was great because, well, Customato got this fucking phenom at 13 and was like, great. It's a blank canvas with a phenom of physicality and physique. And then Customato transformed him into that. If Mike Tyson had studied basic fucking boxing under someone else, Customato would have to then unlearn that and then teach him peekaboo style.
Right.
So it's better for someone to go, yeah, maybe from a work ethic standpoint, but what are they going to teach them? The old school, like acting is reacting, acting is believing. If you believe it, you got to be present. And what the fuck, shit like that, like being present. Being present. What do you mean be present? I see a fucking guy with a boom over Eddie's head while I'm talking to him, and I see this grip over here picking his ass, and this one eating goldfish, and the director's moving around. Present? I'm not present. I'm not delusional. I don't go, dude. I didn't even realize I was on a fucking film set. I believed it. No, I don't fucking believe. It's stupid. It's stupid. I need to look at you, say these lines, and when they cut it together, it better fucking work. And that's what people need to understand. You can believe all you want. It's like anything else. Would it make sense for it's like say I was a Nora. You look at something like a Nora. Her acting and that was great. And I believed it as a sex worker and all that. It was great. She isn't a sex worker in real life. So are you basically saying then, oh, you just gotta believe that you are? If that's the case, then why didn't they just grab a real sex worker and get her to memorize lines? Because there's a technique to it.
Right.
So you believe in you're the character and doing all this shit. It's like, okay, fine, you believed it. Oh, fine, you smoked crack and you were a sex worker. Well, it sucked. The movie sucked because your eye lines were off and we couldn't hear you and you were whispering and doing all this other shit. There's a technique to it. Now, I could somewhat be simplifying it, but not as much as people overcomplicate it. And acting teachers have to muddy the waters and make it esoteric and nebulous because a lot of them can't act and they don't know what they're doing. And it's their job to string you along, and you have to go through their minions to get to them. And then after they suck 10 or 15 grand out of you, you go, man, I fucking still don't have a co star credit.
Mm. Good point.
And I've gotten so many actors co-star credits by going, man, just walk up here. You walk up here and do this, and you boom. And they, what the fuck? They don't care if you don't have any credits. No one looks at NYU Juilliard Tisch. No one's looking at that fucking shit. You're either right for the role or you're not. None of that shit matters.
John, okay, so you worked with what was the actor's name from Mayor of King? Did I say Kingston? Is that correct?
Uh, Kingstown.
Kingstown, right? Sorry, Kingstown. Who was that
No, because
kid?
there's a Kingston in Michigan, and
Oh,
it gets
okay,
my wires
Kingstown,
crossed.
right?
Yeah.
Who was that
Mhm.
Spanish kid that you had him audition and he booked the role as a regular? He had like a threatening scene. He was about to kill somebody.
Derek Rivera. Yeah,
Okay,
Derek Rivera.
so give me an example. Derek came in. You looked at the sides, you and him, right?
Yep.
Then what happened? What was his choice? And you said, no, 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 Derek, this is what I feel, and I think this is going to work.
I got the best stories with that kid. I say kid,
Well, he's still a kid. I mean, he
but
looks young. Go ahead.
yeah, I can get. There's so many examples of him that if you didn't know me any better or know him, you'd think I was making these stories up. Because me and
Jonathan,
him got
no
three.
one talks shit on my podcast, right? Everybody tells me
No,
the
I'm
truth,
saying,
all right? So go
yeah,
ahead.
because these stories that I got with him are so crazy. If you heard them or read them in a book, you'd say, "Nah, that's bullshit." The same dude three times, but he will follow me into a fire. That kid.
Mhm.
He never says, "Dude, you're pushing it." Because I swing big. I do shit that people are now catching up with, and they go, "Oh, I'm shooting it in my bathroom, or I'm doing this." It's like I was doing that shit fucking 10 years ago when people are like, "John's an idiot." Don't do that. So he comes to me, and he's got the audition. He didn't have a choice. He's just like, "Dude, this guy's a cartel member." I took him in the bathroom. I got a bathroom at the studio. I had some hair clippers. And I said, "Dude, I'm shaving a line in your fucking head, bro." So put a line in his head. I got a bunch of fake tattoos. I said, "All right." Turn on the sink. Spend a half hour doing his makeup. I put the fake tattoo on. I put that fucking huge scar, and he never says anything. He just he trusts me because we booked enough. So I put the scar on, draw the fucking shave the line in his head, do the tattoo, and then we go and shoot it. And I said, "Dude, we're gonna go Benicio on this shit, bro. Eyes do fucking nothing." It's what I told you. Everyone's gonna be bombastic. Everyone's gonna be too much. He's a cartel guy. The real dangerous motherfuckers in life, and this is another thing about life and why life experience helps. You get around motherfuckers that are dangerous, you they're very like you don't even realize they're dangerous. They're just very mild. And I've been around some dangerous motherfuckers. And I said, that's the approach we're taking. Yeah, we're every day we probably come in contact with cartel people. And they're probably landscapers or old people you see at 7-Eleven, and you go, what the fuck's up with the old dude with the fucking leaf blower? It's like, dude, that guy will fucking chop you up, bro, and they won't find you.
Mm.
It isn't the on the nose stuff that you think. And that comes from life and like being in situations. So I told Derek, like, dude, we're gonna there's nothing, bro. Nothing. It's all in the eyes. And that's what he did. Jeremy Renner's the quarterback. Hugh Dillon's the wide receiver. It's their fucking scene. Give them the ball.
Mm.
Give them the ball. And you yeah, you put hurdles in their way. And it doesn't mean you become passive, but it's your approach. And Hugh Dillon told him when he got the job, I had 3 actors, and I kept coming back to your tape, and I said, "This guy took a big fucking swing."
And
And he did.
and you did it all in your bathroom studio.
Not in the bathroom. I did his makeup and stuff in the bathroom, but then we went in the studio,
Oh,
and
okay.
that's where I shot it. And I did so many things from the way I lit it to the way I shot it to that's another thing as a filmmaker. I know what the scene needs. I know how close it needs to be. I know what angle I need to shoot it at. I know how I want to color it. I know what lights I want to use. That's the business of people aren't thinking about that stuff, and some maybe shouldn't be. But as a filmmaker, I know the psychology of the thumbnail.
Mm.
What's the thumbnail? And casting directors are on Tinder, and you need to stop the scroll. You need to be that sexy person that go, "Oh shit, what the fuck? I want to watch this." And that's what it needs to be. And then you have a few seconds to get their attention. And
So
That's what Derek did there.
so Jonathan, what was his scene about? His scene was about like taking somebody down or threatening. What was the scene?
Well, there's 2 scenes. The first scene is Jeremy Renner and Hugh Dillon confronting him
Hmm.
and trying to get information out of him, and
Right.
he's eating his breakfast, right? So it's like, "Okay, where are you? Restaurant. What are you doing? Eating your breakfast, eating pancakes. Who are you talking to? 2 fucking cops. What do you think of these 2 fucking white boy cops? Fuck these cops. Okay, cool. So how can you be glib instead of being like, "Oh, the on the nose," and it becomes an affectation of a cartel guy. It's like, "Okay, Imma look at these 2 motherfuckers like,
Like they're pieces of
n
shit, right? Like fuck them.
well, no, actually, you get off on it.
Oh,
Make
okay.
them, make them see, make them models." So
Right.
now I got 2 Victoria's Secret models across from me, and I just look at these fucking cops like, "Okay, keep going," right? And it's that changes your point of view so you can find a different way in. Sometimes you only have to change one thing, and it's like, "Oh, shit, that was different." He didn't try to hijack the scene. He didn't become and that could be something that I teach actors with threats of like, "I get off on this. Yeah, we can do this." It's like fighters. Most fighters would rather fight than fuck.
Right. So pretty much this is a
Most.
high. This is a high for him. Oh yeah, give me
Yeah.
more. Oh yeah.
Yeah, give me more. I like this. And I knew people like that. They'd be like, "Oh, no, I'd rather fight than fuck." And that's a, "Oh, shit, that's a model. That's a psychology. Okay, I can ride that. Oh, boom, I'm in." If a director said that to me, I'm like, "Say no more. Roll the camera." Because most people are like, "Ugh," right? That's that playing the uniform.
Right,
And
right.
even in the second scene, when he does take her and put her in the bathtub and he's got the knife and all that shit, that's a real knife.
Okay, so that second scene, how'd you set that up?
Yeah.
Did
How
you
did I set it up or shoot it? Oh, what I told him was he had a real knife, and me,
okay,
I don't give a fuck. That's a big swing that you hear people say, "Oh, you can't." No, I will do whatever the fuck I wanna do. How's that? Like, don't tell me what to do. It's my studio. Would I go into a casting director's office with weapons? Absolutely not.
right.
But this is my art. So
Mhm.
don't then tell me like, you can't paint outside the lines." I will paint outside the fucking lines, and you will thank me for it. And that's what you need to have that as an artist, you need to break that box. And he had the butcher knife, he had the gloves. I said, "Yeah, put the fucking gloves on. Don't leave no fingerprints. Have that butcher knife." And I'm shooting him and he's grabbing duct tape and putting it on me so he has something to hold, right? And he's grabbing my arm and he's got that knife. But me, I'm like, if he fucking cuts me, he cuts me. Now that might be a very like negligent thing, but my goal is to get him the fucking job.
Oh,
They need to watch this tape and go, "What the fuck is this?"
yeah. Now, did he go to the conservatory and all that shit?
No,
Oh, so
he, no, I don't even know if he's had any acting classes besides mine. Maybe he might have studied somewhere, but he takes most of my classes. He coaches with me on everything, and that's what we work on is stillness and opinion and point of view and on-camera acting. When One Battle After Another came out, me and him went in at fucking midnight. We're watching one battle after another, and we're nudging each other and like, "Dude, look at this, steal that, dude. Look at Penn when he does this. Look at Benicio here. Look at the, you need to you need to study." Right? And that's what me and him do. We watch it. We send each other shit all the time. "Oh, look at this, look at this, look at this." And I do that with my students. Like, "This is good, steal that." And, you have to be a student of the game.
I love this, man. You listen, John. I mean, these stories are amazing, man. Um, Jenny Ortega is that her name? Ortega.
Jenna Ortega.
What is it?
Jenna
Jenna.
Ortega.
Okay, so tell me her story. What happened?
She was working when she came to me. She was just coming off Stuck in the Middle. She was on that show for a little bit. And then her and her mom found me, and I started shooting all her self-tapes and then started coaching her.
Mhm.
And then I was like, "Oh, shit." She was in the running and getting great feedback on stuff that I would coach her on. And it booked 1 or 2 things. She was in the running for something big, and it came down to her and someone else, and that was more of a luck thing. But, crazy work ethic, man. Her and her mom would drive from Palm Springs 2 hours, 10 o'clock at night. "Hey, can you take us at 10 o'clock? We ain't gonna get there till fucking," and I'd stay in the studio with them till midnight. And it was always me, her, and her mom just sit chopping it up. And Jenna would memorize crazy memory, man. Crazy memory, crazy work ethic. and I always knew she'd be a star. I didn't uh, foresee like a mega star like she is. I didn't. Did I freeze?
No, no, you're there.
Um,
You said you knew
but
she's gonna be a mega star, but go
yeah,
ahead.
I knew she'd be a star,
Mhm.
and there's different factors that go into that. I said the same thing about Ariana Greenblatt. She started coming to me at 11, and she's crazy talented, man. She's crazy talented. And the same thing with Jackson Kelly. Now, some people naturally just have like this thing, like it, and sometimes it could be stronger than the talent. And then some people have talent, but they don't have it. And one usually is stronger than the other, and you gotta get the other to catch up, right? I don't know if I don't think I naturally had it, maybe I did, I don't know, but I had to get my fucking acting and my foundation right.
Wow. Yeah, man. I'm really impressed, Jonathan. Seriously, I think your technique is it's helping a lot of actors, man. It's helping me just by learning from you. It's like
Thanks, man,
it
focus on the frame.
yeah, yeah, it's amazing. Like, it's like it was in me too. Like I knew that it's something with film acting, like, it's stillness, it's the eyes, it's telling the story right there. You don't have to do too much. And that's what a lot of actors do, right? They fall into that trap and they do too much, and it's like they're trying to be interesting, and it's like, dude, you don't.
They think that the camera's not gonna pick it up, and you have to understand that it's a collaboration, and there's music. There's so many things that can be done with with the camera and the music and the coloring. You can take great acting. If I shoot something and it looks like shit, but your acting is great, it doesn't move us. Why? Why? Well, maybe the shot is shit. Maybe I'm too close or too far. Well, then that matters. If that matters, then it matters. Because look, if I do a scene here and I say, man, dude, I can't, I'm missing. You're like, whoa, whoa, John, what if it's great? What if my mom just died and I'm honestly going through it? You'd be like, well, dude, it's annoying. Why is it annoying? Because the frame matters. Oh,
Right.
so you're telling me it's better this way? Well, why? So it must matter then. And then if there's music underneath, well, that changes things. So that must matter. And we forget that as actors. It's like, well, Tom Brady's got to have someone to throw the ball to. There's got to be other players. Someone's got to hand him the ball, right? Well, he can't just do it on his own. Someone's got to keep him from getting hit. Someone's got to give him the Gatorade. Isn't that important? What if there's no water on the field? Then now he's dehydrated. And we can't lose sight of that, of the mic guy going, "Oh, John's gonna yell here, and I'm gonna lift it up here." And he saves it. It's like, if he clips, the scene is shit, and then you gotta go ADR it, and that sucks. And then, focus could get buzzed, or the score is just, dude, if you do nothing, John, you don't have to cry. We're just gonna put a little bit of score in here, and if you just look off, the music will do the work. Actors lose sight of that. It's a team team effort, not to mention the other actors, right? You look at Scarface and that shower scene where he has that guy handcuffed and they chainsaw him in the
Mhm.
shower. People forget that, no, you don't see it. You don't see him do it. Your mind fills that gap and you think, "Oh, no, I actually saw him chainsaw him." No, you didn't. It was like Hitchcock. You didn't see him. You saw him squirm and you heard the chainsaw. You don't need to see the blood and the gore. Your mind will fill in the gaps,
Right.
and trust that the audience will do the heavy lifting for you. That you can sometimes just say it with a look, and you lower their audience's guard just enough. And that's some people have, spectators and audience. We have our guards up. It's like, you're going to tell me how to feel. You're crying. You're trying to get me to cry because you're crying, and my guard goes up, and it never comes down. And that's another psychological thing of, if you go to a car dealership and you're like, "Oh, here comes the dude. They're gonna rush me at the door and they're gonna do the thing." And he's well, ap how does a good salesman get you to lower your guard? "Hey, my name's Jonathan. If you guys see something you like, go ahead and look around. If
And
you
you
see
just walk
something you
away.
like, let me know and I'll be here for," and you walk away.
Right.
And they go, "Oh,
Man.
shit, my guard's down."
Yeah.
That's it. And it's, you let them come to you. Oh, Eddie's not taking me for a fool. I see a casket. Eddie's in a funeral. Eddie's at a funeral, and I see an old guy in a casket. What are you gonna fucking cry? You gonna cry, huh, actor boy? You gonna cry? But if I see you looking at your dad and you touch his hand and you smile, I'm gonna fucking break down. You fuck. Nah, you motherfucker. Because I've been there. I've been there. So if you reach over to your dad and you smile and you go, "You look good," I'm gonna go, "Motherfucker, turn it off. I don't wanna watch this."
Yeah. Wow, man, I love this shit. John, what about in the movie Heat? That's one of my favorite films. I could watch that film
Oh
over and
god, dude.
over and over. I just ordered the book, Heat 2. I know it came out 2022, but I love Michael Mann. I think he is a genius. The way he
He's great,
breaks
man.
it down, I love his style. That scene at the diner, break it down. What did you notice? What did you see? What was you know, the praise that you gave in that scene?
Oh, there's so much. Okay, now you look at De Niro's stillness. He's
Mhm,
here the whole time. They go from medium to here. That's it. He doesn't use any props, and I'm not against props, but his thing the whole time is, and I'm not against animal work per se, because I might go, I just need to know what kind of animal is he. And if I was saying in this, he could be like a parrot. He's just on the prey. He looks around the restaurant. He glances to make sure, like, oh fucking, I'm waiting for the shoe to drop. I'm sitting here with the cop, and this could be overlay for the underplay,
mhm.
right? But it's simpler than that. He sits, he listens, and he says his lines. So if you want to look at it from my standpoint of like, dude, the hardest part about that scene, and I say this to actors, the hardest part about me for auditioning should always be memorizing the lines. Everything else is going to be a fucking joke, unless I need to learn an accent. That's going to be tough. But the hardest part, once you get the technique, should be memorizing the lines. And you look at that scene. Where am I? Diner, night. Who am I talking to? If you're De Niro, I'm the relationship in this instance is I'm a suspect crook thief talking to a cop. What are we talking about? Life, and what does he need me to understand? That
I'm not going
I should
back.
stop.
De Niro says, "I'm not
Yeah,
going back."
yeah, and I need him to understand this is my life. This is my way of life. I'm gonna keep going. And, Pacino's is, "I got you dead to rights," right? I need you to understand that I'm gonna jam you up and, it's that simple. It really is. That's why the want thing there, if you say, like, "Want," what does he want? What does De Niro want from Pacino? I don't fucking know. What does he want? He can get up and walk away at any point.
But he wants you to understand, "I'm not going back to
Yeah,
Folsom. I'm not going back."
yeah, yeah. I need you to understand you can't stop me.
Right, and then Pacino is trying to tell I want him to understand,
Yeah,
"I catch you, you're
I got
going
the
down."
power. You're going down.
Right, right.
You're going down. Ah. So, and then, De Niro's is the opposite. So that's like you need me to understand X, and my need is going to be probably the opposite.
Right, right.
And with that, it's dude, 7 minutes of De Niro, sure, there's opinions, and he has a point of view and subtext on everything of like, well, this is what I think of that. Fuck is that barbecues and baseball games? That's for fucking pussies,
Right,
right?
right.
It's like, okay, that's what he's saying there. It's basically what it is. The fuck is that? That's boring. That's a square man's life,
It's like, that's
and
not
that's
life,
it.
that's a bullshit life. Who the fuck wants
Yeah,
that life? That's his point
bullshit.
of view, right?
You've, yeah, yeah, and that's really it. To even overcomplicate it, and if you watch LA Takedown from what is it, 89, I made a video on that comparing the two before. Did you ever see that?
No, LA Takedown is what?
Oh, bro, I made a video of this. I gotta find it. It's in my Instagram
John, you
somewhere.
have like 10 posts a day, man. I'm like, "Oh, shit, okay. Let me see this, let me see this."
Michael Mann made a movie. It was a TV series called LA Takedown. It was the same script from Heat.
Oh, was it?
Yes, I'll send it to you, and
Oh,
you can watch the YouTube
shit.
video. That exact scene with 2 different actors.
Mm.
Same scene, and they fucking butcher it. And
They
I made
butchered
a
it. They butchered it?
Yeah, well, it was everything I'm saying of, like, bad acting of the
Right.
guy playing the fucking cop the whole time. "Yeah, I'll take you down," and he just eye fucks and stares the whole time. The other guy isn't as bad, but what was missing and what they did was play the page. I'm a cop, you're a bad guy. And they just fucking it was boring as fuck. Pacino and De Niro, you could say they found like a dance and a love there of, oh, we're more alike, right? And it was more of like, oh, okay, less bickering and of me being here and you being here, and more of like a dance between
Right.
two exes at a wedding. And it's like, I think they might get back together, right? Instead of, I hate you, we're getting divorced, right? And that's what they did well there is not playing the uniform. If you just look at the thumbnail, you go, I don't know, it looks like a couple fucking Italians in fucking a restaurant. Oh, yeah, okay, hold on, let's get the context. Well, this guy's a cop and this guy, okay. But Pacino doesn't play a cop. He plays a guy that easily could have been on the other side. I'm like you with a badge, right? It's like, okay, cool. The badge is the badge.
Yeah. And
And
you
the
know what's
same,
crazy too, Jonathan? At the end, you remember when he got De Niro and De Niro was dying? You saw Pacino's eyes tear up a little bit because what's your take on that? Did he feel bad that he went down?
I think there was sympathy and empathy. And
Right,
also, I mean, if you look at De Niro, you maybe in the life you realize, well, people get dealt a bad hand and the ball don't bounce right for people. And this guy did what he knew. Did he do anything unforgivable? Yeah, I mean, I forget, but if he killed anyone, it was like innocent. It was usually like get the money and get out,
right,
right? So it ain't like he was fucking killing kids
right,
or
right.
shit
Exactly.
like.
Yeah.
No, he was stealing money that was insured, and he wasn't a drug dealer, and he wasn't putting drugs on the street. So it's like there could be there. Not all crimes are created equally, and I think there could have been that like, oh, if you would have chose a different path, or maybe this guy didn't stand a chance,
Right.
right? This could be my brother.
The film. What would you post the other day with the stillness with Benicio del Toro? Came into the
Sicario.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. Break that down again because I really want to hear this from you
I had a
again.
great I had a great conversation with the guy that plays the head cartel. He called me
Mhm.
a couple years ago, and because I think I posted something on it. He's like, "Dude, I wanna tell you some stories on that." And I forget some of the stories, but basically, Benicio had way more lines, and he just fucking scribble, 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 and just got rid of a lot of them. I guess he does that a lot. But if you look at a scene like that, the that cartel guy is responsible for the death of Benicio's wife and daughter. Now
Mhm.
you get that on the page, and you're like, "Oh shit,
But
it's Trap City right away."
but hold on, Jonathan. But the trap is another actor would be like fucking flipping out. You fucking motherfucker! Why'd you kill this and that, this and that? But Benicio was calm, right? That's what you're trying
Yep.
to say right there. That's an
Yeah. Now,
example.
and you look at the opposite of like, I'm gonna approach this like instead of coming in like, who am I talking to? The guy that fucking killed my family. I got a gun. He's with his family. It's like, whoa, whoa. What happens if you walk into his house? Like, well, if you notice, Benicio spits on the ground when he's walking through. It's like, okay, well, that behavior is a language. I teach that to actors. Behavior is a language. And that's also something that we take for granted as actors is, well, I can just the way I do something speaks for itself,
Mhm.
right? But Benicio comes in very stealth, sits down, and he's very diplomatic about it. He knows the end, right? And so many actors, I say, head towards the iceberg, like the Titanic.
Mhm.
They steer away from the iceberg and then they hit it and you got yourself a movie. But actors just head right into the iceberg and crash it and then jump into the fucking water and kill themselves. That's playing the problem. Now, what Benicio did there was he just comes in calm and then leaves someone, go ahead, eat. He knows how it ends, right? Now, that's an Uta Hagen thing. How does it end? In bloodshed. Well, then I'll flip that motherfucker at the top. So he can come in. I'd go, oh, yeah, come in like a priest. Imma come in like a priest, very diplomatic, that's gonna read someone their last rites to an 80-year-old woman on her deathbed.
Right.
And I take the context and I just change it a little bit. Now that makes it to where I get off on this. I need you to understand, vengeance is mine. And I could use that as a vengeance is mine, said the Lord.
And
That's it. And then I'm in. I got a gun.
right, right. And they're scared shit. They know it's going down. They know it's
The
gonna
gun
go
is
down, right?
that's a David Mamet thing. He says the nail is the nail.
Mhm.
The nail isn't the house, right? And basically the gun is the gun. You don't have to be the gun. I got a gun.
Right, right.
So there's that. So now I can be any way I want to be. And that's the Christoph Waltz, Christopher Walken thing of like Stella Adler would say, find the love. In any scene, find the love. And he approached that like, oh, he comes in
Like a normal human being,
a
right? Just come on in,
like a
crash the
golden
party a
lab. You
little
could
bit.
say he don't come in like a pit bull. He
Right,
comes in
right.
like a golden lab because a pit bull would be like, ah, it's a little on the nose. We got a pit bull across the table and this. No, I'm gonna come in like a golden lab with a gun. Oh, that's okay. Now my guards low. Oh, I like this. And that's an example of less is more.
Yeah.
Silence is golden.
Mhm.
He's slow. He doesn't talk much, and he's quiet.
So,
And that's it.
Jonathan, so it's not really the lines, it's what's happening in the moment. That's the bottom line, right? It's what's happening in the moment.
And the behavior, he didn't have to say anything,
Right, right.
right? And you set the scene, the context. That's the thing too. You have to put into consideration who are the players on the field. Well, I got his two young boys and his wife,
Mhm.
and I got a gun. This is doing a lot of the heavy lifting. So the less I do, the better. I'm just going to put it on autopilot. I don't have to. It's okay. Everything's going to take care of itself.
John, when it comes to detectives, right? I'm sure you go in for a lot of roles as a detective. I get a lot to detective stuff. Is there in a way interrogating in a charming way? Ah, what's up? What's
Oh,
going
of
on?
course.
Right? I mean, that's what I do most of the time. I don't want to be that guy. Where were you the night of? I just want to be like, hey, catch the Knicks game last night. The
Well,
highlights.
that's a nice different way in.
Right.
And well, you get more bees with honey,
Mhm. Wait, say that again. What was the
right?
question?
You get more bees with honey.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know, oh, Eddie was there, I got evidence, I'm going to be diplomatic at the top and I'm going to see how it goes. I'm not going to play the problem. I'm going to be charismatic and try to think of who does that well. I'm
Yeah.
drawing a
What's your
blank right
take? Who
now of
plays?
someone.
Who plays a good cop? Like
Ray Liotta, okay, Ray Liotta. If you look at A Place Beyond the Pines, Ray Liotta when he goes to Bradley Cooper's house and they're eating dinner, and he's like, "Hey, can we steal your husband away for a little bit?" And it's like, "Oh, they're really buttering her up and shit." It's like, "Well, it was great. They're getting ready to fucking play him." He's very charismatic, right? And that's something I always look to bring to. It's like, well, if this guy's a bad guy, how do I make him not a bad guy? And that's life too, right? You look at all those mob movies, it's the same thing. So that's the opposite that we hear about so much. How can I find a different way in?
right. Wow.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. And like in the movie Falling Down with Michael Douglas, you've seen that film, right?
Dude, I just watched that. Did you spy on me? I was watching
No,
it
no,
last
no,
night.
no. I saw it like 3 weeks ago. I just wanted to watch it again from an actor's point of view, and I saw how Robert Duvall plays the cop, all calm, relax and all that. It wasn't too much. It wasn't like play off the page, like what you said, play the problem off the page. No, man, he was like just calm, and I loved that simplicity. But Duvall's a legend, you know that.
Even oh, he's a G. Even Michael Douglas
Yeah,
is when he goes into I was watching that scene last night when he goes to get his breakfast.
yeah, yeah.
And you're rooting for him. See, you're rooting for him, and you go, what he does is get us on his side.
Hmm.
And you go, hey, wait a second. I actually agree with this guy. That is messed up that they don't serve you breakfast at 11:30 and he shoots the place up. And now you're like, "Oh, I like this guy. Everything he does."
Yeah.
Right? And that's what's called a save the cat moment. Like when he goes to that that Nazi guy that owns the gun shop and the pawn
Mm,
shop,
yeah.
and that guy's going on his tirade. You're like, "What the oh, wait, yeah, there's levels to this." So, like, if you're thinking of Michael Douglas as a bad guy, it's like, "No, actually, the Nazi's the bad
Yeah.
guy." And then when Michael Douglas, eliminates him, it's like, "Oh, okay, well, I'm actually wait a second, I am Michael Douglas."
Right. And what about the
And
part?
next thing you know,
Yeah, yeah. What about the part for the soda? He still pays for it.
with the back yes, see, those are save the cat moments. It's like, "Whoa, whoa, you don't you don't even realize it's like the Joker. Oh, wait a second, I am him. This guy's a mirror of me." And a lot of those are like, yeah, he bashes the place with the soda and he still pays for it. It's like, oh, he's doing what we all want to do. And Carl Jung would call that the shadow. It's the same thing Joaquin Phoenix does it in The Joker.
Uh-huh.
Is it real? Is he really a bad guy? No, he's fed up.
He's fed up, right? Even the
When
chulo,
Joaquin,
the gang guys, right? When they try to
yes,
mug him and shit. Even that part. I mean, you're kind of cheering for him.
yes. And what happens to look at what he's wearing? He looks like a fucking dork.
And he
He
doesn't
looks like an
belong in that
accountant.
neighborhood.
Yes, so now you have that nice juxtaposition. If you
Mhm.
say, "Well, this is a guy that today's the day that he goes on this spree and he loses it," it's like, well, it better not be the archetypal bad guy that looks scary, right? Like a Steve Buscemi or something. How do we lower the guard? Put him in a suit and tie
Yeah.
with these it looks like someone in the '80s would be a banker and do your taxes. Oh, shit. Okay, so now my guard's lowered, and he just mirrors back what he's stuck in traffic, and that's the catalyst, and then everything it's, "Oh, wait, I get this guy." And now we're along for the ride, see?
Yeah, yeah. That was that.
And you have to look, what's the thumbnail, right? Look at the wardrobe.
Mhm. So that now another thing, like with your self tape auditioning, also you believe in the wardrobe too, right? You tell these guys, look, I feel like you should wear this. Or no.
Yes, to
Okay.
the yes, to the nth. Like, I had an audition for Reptile with Benicio del Toro, and
Wow.
yeah, and I said, "Man, dude, I gotta come in different. This dude's in jail, he's a white boy." I went and bought a wig, it was $600, and I paid someone a
600 on a
hundred and f
wig. My God.
I paid, someone 150 to cornrow it, so I'm $750 in for this audition, and I didn't book it, but the audition was fucking sweet, and my thing was, I just need them to watch the tape and go, "This motherfucker's good. We ain't giving him a job, but he's good." That's all I care about. I don't need the job. I don't need the job. I want them to watch.
No, continue. Go ahead. So they watch it.
I want and, yeah, I didn't get the job, and I but the audition's great, and I think they ended up even cutting that part out of the movie, but anything I can control, so I bought an orange prison suit. I had a fucking payphone at the table. I That whole world I'm creating, that's when I said, when I can anything I can control, I'm going to control.
Right.
I don't care if I go in debt. I don't care if it costs me money. I don't care.
You know,
It
your mentality is like my boy Dominic Lombardozzi, the actor, from Tulsa King.
Tulsa King, he's
Yeah.
good, dude.
Yeah, he's great. And you know what? If you think about it, if you look at that cast from A Bronx Tale, he's the only one that's consistently working from that whole cast, with the exception of De Niro, you
And
know,
Chaz, yeah.
and Jazz. But Chaz is more like he's doing more like one man plays and stuff like that,
Sure.
right?
But
But
he could do what he wants.
he could do whatever he wants, right? But I'm just saying, out of all those characters, he was the only one that's consistently working to this day. Well, most of the time, the casting directors don't show up for these one-on-one sessions. Most of the time, 90% is the casting associate or the assistant that shows up.
But they're the ones with the power.
Huh?
They're the ones with the power.
That's true. But here's the thing. I talked to a lot of actors. and they were good. I mean, I see their work, and they're like, I never got a call. 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 I'm like, it was.
I see it work.
Did you? I don't. I guess I ain't seen it
Well,
in New York. I don't see it in
here,
New York.
here I'm if I'm playing, and I'll call a spade. If I'm playing devil's advocate, say you're a casting associate assistant and all your time is spent like working for, I don't know, $20 an hour for that person. You have no free time. I don't expect them to go volunteer their time for free to go watch actors when, I wouldn't do it. So if it's like, no, we'll pay you and here's your chance to audition for them, I'm not against that. If you said to me, hey, bro, Jonathan Strauss, John Pasadera, give me $200 and I'll make sure they watch your tape. I'll sit next to them. I'd be like, I don't give a fuck. I'll
Well,
give you 200
that's a
bucks.
good point. Yes, I would definitely do that in a heartbeat, without a doubt. But
Mhm.
what I experience in New York, I don't see it. I just don't see it.
Well, here's my thing too. If you're good, they have no choice but to remember you.
That's about it. But there's a whole bunch of goods.
No, 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 no.
No.
Nope. Nope. No. If you say, dude, I'm telling you, I've seen close to 100,000 auditions
Hmm.
and I'm expensive. I'm in LA. I see good actors, working actors. If you said name your top 5 actors to where, John, I need 5 actors tomorrow that can go on set with Bradley Cooper and De Niro and they won't fuck up. I'd go 5. It's 4:30. I'll get back with you in 3 hours.
Really?
And I've seen 100,000. Oh yeah, bro. And of course, my boy Jackson Kelly's going to be at the top.
Right.
And I'm not saying these, and I would skip past celebrities that you would know, and you go, I go, no, 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 no. They ain't gonna. You said show up on time and know their lines, right?
Right. Right.
And not be a motherfucker. Okay, out. Michael Dempsey, the older white dude I post,
Hmm.
right? He's good, and there's only so many. I go 5, right? This guy worked with David Gentoli, Italian cat. He's really fucking good. This dude will do a 6 to 7 minute audition 8 times in a row in a half hour and not fuck his lines up. He's a beast, dude. Good looking dude. It's if they go into these casting workshops, bro, you're gonna remember them because
Really?
most actors ain't good. Oh no, dude. No, I've been doing this forever. I don't know how long it'll be before I see another Jackson Kelly.
Holy shit!
No, dude, at 18, this kid comes from Waco, Texas, and I'm like, do I need to go to Waco, Texas with a bus and start scouting talent? Because, bro, if Jackson Kelly went to a casting, stop, baby, that's off my dollar. Uh, if Jackson Kelly went to a casting workshop, bro, forget about it. Forget about it.
Now, I got one more question, Jonathan. I know your daughter is back up. Um, when you see stuff on the trade, like, oh, they're casting like Casino, right? A TV series and stuff like that. What do you do in that situation when they don't know you? How can you sneak in your, I guess, audition tape? What can you do in that situation? I'm not talking about the lead role. I'm talking about like, smaller
Well,
role.
thanks for saying that because I see when people, oh, like, oh, I should be the next Bond. They're casting Bond. It's like, don't worry. They're going to go with Tom Hardy or fucking
Right,
Jacob
right,
Elordi.
right.
So, what I would do, and this is the part that I could say it, and actors probably won't even listen to it. And I talked about this to my subscriber group. I want to make sure my daughter doesn't get on camera. I don't mind that she's in here. I just don't want her
Nah,
on
it's all
camera.
right if she's in there. Don't worry about it.
I don't let people see her publicly.
Oh, that's true. All
Uh,
right.
so what I would do, no, 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 baby, go to mama. Go. I'll be out in a second. Go ahead. And here's what I told my subscriber group, and this is very important. When I say everything has to be a 10, it better be. I don't care if the headshots are $1,000. I can't tell you how many times I dropped $1,000 on headshots and threw them in the trash. I'm gonna go until I get it right. So the headshot is going to be a fucking 10. I'm going to shoot, and it's gonna cost me thousands of dollars, but I'm gonna do it. I'm going to shoot something with a professional DP, professional sound. I'm going to micromanage the piss out of it. The location's going to be great. And you can see I do this on my Instagram, these short films that I make. I'm going to do all that, control it, and then find a way to get it to casting. But from the email pitch to the headshot, everything is going to be perfect. I'm looking at it as a job interview or a first date,
Mm.
and I'm showing up. Nothing is going to be off. When they watch it, they have to say, "Where the hell's this dude been?" And then it can't even come off as desperate. And so then the email pitch has to be perfect. But I'm not saying like, "Oh, I'm gonna grab my buddy and we're gonna shoot something in my bedroom and I'm doing a monologue from The Godfather." I'm not risking that because
Right.
you could risk ticking them off. You can risk ticking them off, and then they're never gonna bring you in again.
Mm. I hear you,
So that's where you gotta be careful. That's where you gotta be careful is Shiloh, one sec, babe. You don't wanna tick them off and they go, "Ah, Eddie sent me something," and like, "Yeah, it was okay. I'm not bringing him in anymore." So then he just looks like a desperate actor with no talent, and his materials aren't good.
right, right. So you got to be a perfect 10, man. Everything has to be unreal.
You know, I said to someone the other day, this is a good analogy. You have to be Jacob Elordi in a Ferrari, and then you don't you pulling up to a club and you're happy to go home alone
Right.
with the six pack. Jacob Elordi in a Ferrari with an 800 credit score, millions of dollars, a six pack. You're going into a nightclub, but you're happy to go home alone.
Right.
That's what you need to be.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what it
Yeah.
has to be. And
Uh,
so many actors are like, oh, they're too attached to the outcome.
mhm.
You
Jonathan,
know,
I want to listen. Let me tell you something. When I come to LA, can I be in the room when someone is auditioning for you? Like, as far as, or you got a
that's
problem with
yeah, I
that?
get a lot of offers. I get a lot of offers on that, and we have a strict. It's just I don't even let people bring their own readers.
Oh, okay. All right.
Even celebrity clients are like, "Oh, I want my wife to read with me." I don't let anyone in the room. It's and it throws the actor off because they're like, "Whoa,
Right, right, right.
what's this person doing here?"
Do you do any special stuff in New York, like coming in for actors as far as a class,
I,
2 day, 3 day class, intensive, something like that?
I'm doing a 2-day class next week, Monday and Tuesday. This is
Wow.
the first time I'm teaching in New York, and it's 12 people. It's sold out in 24 hours. It
Hmm.
sold out super super quick, and I might do another one, but it's on camera over at Open Jar Studios, and it's going to be everything that I teach in LA over the course of 2 days.
Well, here's my question. Can I audit that? You can say no to me. It's fine. I don't.
I don't allow audits,
Hmm.
but what we can do that I offer to everyone is a one-on-one private coaching. And I would teach you in privates, I teach what I teach in my class. It's better in a
Okay.
class setting, but no one teaches what I teach on camera at all.
Hmm.
And I have everyone sign NDAs too. I don't let anyone in that's an acting teacher that's working at a self-tape
Okay.
studio because what I teach is proprietary and I'm very, very strict. But I would teach you virtually, one-on-one in a private, and I can coach you and get you right.
And this is but you're booked up in New York, right? So it has to be a different time.
Yeah, if someone pulls out, I'll let you know.
Yeah, please do.
Everyone's paid, so I don't know if they would,
I don't think so. Yeah, but like,
but it happens. I've my classes are expensive, and I've had people pay
what
in
does your
full,
class go
and
for a session like that? Just be
I'll
honest.
email you the price.
Okay. Well, listen.
I don't put anything out. I don't put anything out publicly,
Okay.
but
Well, listen, John.
they have to
You've been
email for price.
very, very helpful. Seriously, I can't wait till
Good. I'm glad, man.
I can't wait till I post this on YouTube are the full interviews. But what I do is I cut mini clips and I put it on the Instagram and the TikTok and I tag
Yeah,
you.
they're cool, man.
Yeah, and you collaborate. Like, make sure you accept my collaboration. If you don't like it, say no, Eddie. I want another take. I mean, all
I don't think I said anything too crazy.
no, no. But like the fact how you teach and all that is very interesting. It's like It's like the big leagues, and which is what I love. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
it's a game. That's it. You can't bring nothing below. It's a game only. You got to be serious. You got to know your shit. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah. If you want to make a living at this, man, yeah, you
Yeah,
got to be serious.
yeah. All right. So I'll tag you on Instagram, whatever you like, or
Yeah, man, let's do it.
I could send you this whole thing on Dropbox and cut whatever you want if you want to put it on your.
Cool, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
yeah. All right. Listen, you've been great. I am so honored to have you on my podcast, and as you can see, I got big names, man, and I feel like you're a big
Yeah,
name
hey, I
too.
love it, man. I love your podcast and
Yeah.
congrats and keep up the awesome work, man.
Yeah, and I love the
It's
acting
really
stuff
good.
like that. Now I'm gonna change my approach with auditioning now, baby. I can't wait for my next audition.
Yeah, hit me up, man. We'll coach. I'll get you right, bro. We'll make it a 10.
You could do it virtually too, like if I set it up like
I
this.
coach a lot of actors virtually. Yeah.
Virtually? Okay.
What helps is if you have your setup, I coach you like this, and then you have a camera off to the side, your phone or something recording you.
No, no, I could record this. I could set this up and the laptop will be then I could set it up.
That's great, man.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
really cool.
yeah. It's called Ecamm Live. That's the program I use right now, what I'm using right now.
So basically, you can record your audition just doing this.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's awesome,
So
man.
like I could knock, like look, it could be just I could hear your voice say, "Okay, Eddie, I want you to do this." Let's say if I'm standing or
Oh,
whatever.
wow.
You know what I mean?
That's
And
cool,
then,
man.
I come back to you and you'd be like, "Okay, listen, this is the take. This is what I really want you to do. Look at me." You know what I'm saying? Shit like that.
I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get that. That's gonna come in
Yeah,
handy.
yeah. I'm gonna send you the referral, I guess, to Ecamm Live. It's a great investment for you, and it's
Yeah,
easy.
let's do
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I'll help you out with this, John. Don't worry about it.
Awesome, man.
I want you to be on top of the world, so people are like, damn, this guy's no joke.
Yeah, the virtual thing, I don't even know how actors do it. I don't do anything for myself virtual. I just read with people and I'm like, you gotta figure it out on your own.
Yeah, but the thing is, you get more business this way too. People from all over the nation or the world, whatever, they could come on like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just
Global.
press record or stop. All right, do it again.
Boom.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
that's awesome,
they
man.
could mic themselves up if they want, because I'm using
That's
this
great.
mic, but I have also it's called lavender or
A lav
something.
mic.
Yeah, lav mic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they put it on and boom, it's in. And you see my lighting; it's
That's
good,
cool,
right?
man.
Right, everything's
Yeah, it
clear,
is. That
right?
works, bro.
Yeah,
That's all you need, man.
yeah. All right, and in my
Yeah, we'll get you right,
background,
man.
yeah, and I'll raise this shit. My background, I just raised the thing, gray thing.
Even that works. That's a good color. That works.
Yeah, yeah. So, listen, you're the best, man. Don't I'm telling you, gonna, you're a legend now, but you're gonna be a super legend coming up. I feel it, man. That's the reason why.
Thank you.
Yeah, I pick guys like